Hello, Internet. Welcome to Gateway
Games.
Gateway. Is Penny Towers actually made of pennies? You'd be surprised.
Is 10 Penny Tower made from 10 pennies? No. Thanks for watching.
And he just gets engulfed by the mushroom cloud.
Jesus.
It's like, man, that's the shortest episode of Game Theory in my life.
That one scene in Terminator 2 holding.
Yeah. No, that's Vsauce. He's like, hi, Vsauce, Michael here. Then just turns around, grabs the fence, and goes, just has all this flesh explode off the explosion.
He's still got the glasses on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Those would be bound to his skull.
His skeleton turns around. Normally, that would have killed me.
However, I'm a ghoul.
But welcome, everybody. We're back with another thrilling episode of Gateway.
Dun 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 dun.
Da, da, da.
Gateway.
Gateway.
Today I will see my bear.
Gateway.
Indeed.
Oh, that's right. We were gonna go see the zoo too.
The bear. I almost.
And then we got stuck on a shopping
Vsauce
spree.
Michael
It
here.
always happens.
Yeah. Welcome back. We're a little bit late today because I had a D&D game before this run a little bit late.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
What a
Thanks,
nerd.
Yarrow. God.
God.
But yes, we're ready to get back into it tonight, though. So let's go around the horn and introduce ourselves, starting with Lanny Pator. Where can they find you? What are you up to?
Well, you can find me all over the internet at Lanny Pator, and a lot of stuff out this week. You can check out the latest episode of Hiffle, the Home for Infinite Losers. Connor does a wonderful job coming back as Cooler in that one.
Ooh, fantastic.
Oh, shucks.
It's a fun little adventure around the non-canon chunk of the Dragon Ball Z cast. So feel free to enjoy that. And recently, today, just posted something, the first in a mini-series of something that I've been working on for quite a while. A little parody of Kraven the Hunter. Yes, Kraven the Hunter, clearly going to be the best movie of all time. Gonna make John Wick look like a little baby bitch. Go see Kraven the Hunter and check out the YouTube video and you'll know exactly why you should. So do that. I am not sponsored. I am just so confident in the product. Check that out on the Team 4-Star channel. You will be shocked at how much of an awesome man Kraven is. It's going to be a 3-part miniseries, so stay tuned for more. That's how confident we are in Kraven the Hunter. Also, I'll get back to streaming soon here. Very soon. Probably within the week. I just finished setting up this room. It's been sound treated, and I'm ready to get through my gaming backlog and start hanging out with some of y'all again this holiday season. Hope you've all been well in my absence. And that's me.
Right on. Up next, we've got Hey, Mr. Rabbit.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's me, your boy, Hey, Mr. Rabbit. Feeling a lot better, a lot of refresh, recharge. We're back at it again with the fun stuff. And you can see the fun stuff over at twitch.tv/Hey, Mr. Rabbit, where I stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. I play a lot of old RPGs. I play RuneScape. I play horror games. Currently, what we're doing right now is we're doing Leagues. Leagues 5 just dropped in old school RuneScape. It's a fun mode in RuneScape where you have increased experience drops and fun little gimmicks. Like, my favorite one is the ability to go ahead and bring everything down from attacking on 3 ticks to attacking on 2 ticks. So all your range hits hit much, much faster. And it's so nice. And it's so good. Guys, do you want to turn endless amounts of money into endless amounts of prayer experience? Well, now you can in Leagues. And you can see me do that on twitch.tv/Hey, Mr. Rabbit, home of the fun Leagues. Other than that, I'm also writing. I'm a writer and a voice actor. And I just finished putting the final stamp on one of my writing projects. And I'm going to show that off to a couple people in a couple of weeks after I sit it down, let it cool, read through it, and see if I like it. And that's me. That's me.
Excellent, excellent.
Excellent.
Up next, we've got Sarah. Where can they find you? What are you up to?
I'm on Blue Sky and YouTube and I guess Twitter. At Sarah with an H and with an E. Willia. Yeah, I don't know what to talk about. I'm doing the Thanksgiving thing. Enjoying the Thanksgiving times. We did not have turkey. I made beef stew. We bucked the trend. So yeah. That's me.
Nice. Up next, we've got Xanalis Graham.
Hello, that's me. I'm Zan. You can catch me over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/XanosGrim, 7 p.m. PST on Monday, where we're going to continue our D&D game set in my own funny pocket dimensions with a few friends of the channel here. If that piques your interest, that'll be there. Tuesday at around 2:30 PST. You can catch me over at twitch.tv/Distortion Devil, where we're going to be doing session 2 of his very, very good Vecna Eve of Ruin. So that piques your interest. That'll be there. Immediately after that stream, back on my Twitch channel, and a few others, you can catch us going through our Halo Infinite playthrough on Lasso. It's my first ever time going through Infinite at all, so if you want to see some mild amount of suffering and cursing, that'll be there for you. Wednesday, we're back at right here at around 6 p.m. PST for some more of Bosco's two-shot. So if you enjoyed that, we're going to be continuing it this week. Thursday over at twitch.tv/MontyGlue, 7 p.m. PST. We're going to be going through Dungeon of the Mad Mage. We just killed an Elderbrain and an Eoltholith, so now we're dealing with the fallout of getting rid of all of that. And aside from that, I believe that's me.
Right on. That just leaves me. They can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Tumblr, Blue Sky, at Distortion Devil, Instagram at Connor McKinley VA. And you can find all of my TTRPG content, including VODs from our streamed games of Vecna Eve of Ruin, on youtube.com/Devils and Dice Rolls, where not only have we released the VOD for episode 1, but we already have a short, including one of the funny moments from the episode itself. So if you're looking forward to more content with some of the Unexpectables crew, then head on over to Devils and Dice Rolls. Come get your fill.
I like that name. I like that name a lot.
Yeah. And then on Tuesday, we'll be having episode 2 of Vecna Eve of Ruin at 2:30 PST, 4:30 CST. Twitch.tv/Distortion Devil. I'm trying to plan a day to bring back the Judgment streams. I just need a little bit more time on that. But for now, tomorrow, going to be streaming some more Darksiders 3. I think we're getting pretty close to the end, ? And then after that, I have to figure out what game to play next. Yeah. That's about it for me. This episode of Gateway was brought to you in part by Die Hard Dice.
Die Hard Dice!
Die Hard Dice.
When you want some peripherals to roll with your Die Hard Dice, head on over to Die Hard Dice for the diciest dice you have ever seen. Use code Unexpectables this holiday season to save 10% on your order. As well, check out their fabulous holiday deals. But
Green
depending on how
penis
much
guy.
you purchase, you will get an extra goodie in your goodie bag.
Oh God, they're even better when you're dead.
Ah, what luck. There's a French fry stuck in my beard.
Someone go check in on Connor. I think something's happening.
No.
The critic is happening, and it's magical.
Bro, he's
Excellent
becoming.
read,
He's
Mr.
becoming. He
Orwell.
sounds like an out of work, like Vincent Price, and I'm
For
here
real,
for
anybody who hasn't seen The Critic, it is so worth the watch. It's one of
I
my favorite
love
shows
The
when I was a
Critic.
kid.
Rosebud. Yes,
Rosebud
rosebud
and
frozen
peas.
peas. Full of country goodness and green penis.
Penis.
Wait, that's
And
terrible.
nothing-
I quit.
Wait.
Nothing of value was lost.
Buy
Also,
my book.
also check out our merch store. We've just
Buy
released
our book.
buy our book and our stickers and our t-shirts and our mugs. We got all of them over at our merch store, Spring Store, including the Runaways comic book cover, recently added to the store. Looks great as a sticker, as a notebook cover, but all sorts of products would fit this wonderful design. Commissioned by the wonderful Citric King.
That's right, the real King of Citrus.
He actually did the logo for the thing in the Craven video I was talking about earlier.
Nice.
So you can find more of his work there.
Yeah. Oh, Wells. Otho does not get drunk enough to be Orson Welles.
Animals get put to the side where they're out of my way. So when I'm walking to the fridge for another whiskey sour, I do not accidentally trip over them.
We also could not do this weekend we got without bits and subs from viewers like you. Viewers such as Tiki the Troll. Thank you for the raid of the party of 18. Yeah. IDC Witch, thank you for the 100 bits. Thornton 6000, thank you for the 50 months of subbing. And Mr. Insecure.
Good news, Smoothskins. You are now thinking of Ghoul Farnsworth.
I'd be here for it.
Correct, I am.
And that's about it for me. And for our introductions, so without further ado, are we ready to get into tonight's episode of Gateway?
Yeah, I'm ready to get into that episode, Gateway.
Then let's do it.
Smash it.
When last we left the Runaways, Apex the Wildman, Louise the Scavenger, Alvin the Mechanic, and their stalwart companion Theo the Combat Medic. They were preparing for a mission that Barry and Delilah had set them towards to oust the dastardly mayor, Deuce. However, before the shindig kicked off, they decided to exit Westport for the time being, deciding instead to do some exploring, catch up on some errands, and do some shopping. They explored around the St. Louis area where they discovered Union Station, a trade hub in the wasteland, where caravanners of all sorts congregated into a massive market. There, they equipped themselves for the journey ahead. But will it do them any good? Find out now on tonight's episode of Gateway. And so, as we sink back into the world of post-apocalyptic St. Louis. Most of the runaways find themselves outside of Union Station, whereas Alvin currently is not terribly far off, sitting at I believe it was a Red Rocket?
Yeah, it was a Red Rocket station.
Red Rocket Station. To repair some armor and perhaps upgrade some. Unfortunately, not quite being able to get the job done in a timely manner. Did, however, manage to refuel a fusion cell without blowing himself up.
Solid, solid.
It's what we need.
Mm-hmm. And so with Alvin currently occupied by his mechanical repairs, we'll start with a majority of the runaways. Theo, Apex, and Louise. Are you currently leaving Union Station, or are you still sticking around?
Apex would be down to leave. He's got his quest from the guy with no voice, which seems magical to him. So, but something more than likely that Alvin would have to figure out.
I imagine we are running as quickly as possible towards Apex's bear.
Sprinting at full speed. Nah. at a good march, maybe a brisk march, knowing that we're now like a little behind schedule, but
Yeah, the sun now just starting to crest towards setting. You begin to make your way at a brisk pace towards Forest Park, and in doing so, also the St. Louis Zoo. Which, honestly, I should give its own logo, but it is within Forest Park, which has a ton of other attractions.
such a lovely tourist destination.
Mm-hmm.
The
And,
tourism board of St. Louis.
yeah. It takes you a little bit before you manage to make your way inside, and, as you do... there it is. I'll take us back.
Gotta go back. Oh,
To the St. Louis Zoo.
all right. Now my bear is free range now, so as we enter, I remind everybody of this fact, and just to keep your wits about you. It believes the entire area is its territory, though its main domicile is still its enclosure. As I enter, any signs of, fresh kills on scavengers or anything like that, blood trails,
Go ahead and make a wits roll.
I shall. Advanced roller. 6. 2 of them. Hiya! 11.
Very nice. You look around and you see clear signs that the Yao Guai you let out of its, Oh, my brain is not working right now.
Enclosure.
Enclosure, yes. The Yao Guai that you had let out of its enclosure, you see clear signs of it having been here. You see, on an old, burnt-out tree, deep gashes in the bark, claw marks, either meant to mark its territory or, chip down on some overgrowth on its claws. Whatever reason.
Having grown up around these types of creatures, just kind of off in the forest around the ranch, would I know that this is how they mark where their territory is, essentially, where they are?
Yeah, you wouldn't even have to roll for that. You've been told on numerous occasions to stay away from Yao Guai, but clearly you've ignored those pleas from either your parents or your brother.
Well,
when they were
currently I'm leading Piglet and Rue by their collar
It's true.
or by their lead.
Your two mutated hogs, each with 2 heads.
No, it's just the one. Just
Oh,
has the two
right,
heads.
yes.
I just named both of them.
Hey, Apex? Does anyone own this place? Like the zoo? Or claim ownership over it?
I hold up my key. My admin thingy.
Wait, this place is yours?
Yes, it was my brother's.
Oh, that makes sense.
I used it as a field station. I use it to keep animals.
Well, if you ever need help with the landscape, please do let me know. This place is very well irrigated, and I don't know, I like it here.
I keep Piglet and Rue by the lead, and I go to check on the automatic feeders to make sure they're still relatively full. Check on the protectron or the servotron. I can't remember which one was here. I think it was a servotron.
It was a protectron.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I go to check on the mechanics of everything while keeping my eye out for the bear. For the Yaogwai. Sorry, I'll use the in-universe nomenclature.
Mm-hmm. Before you do that, Theo, there's something about what Apex said strikes you as odd, as, at least to your knowledge, Paladin Dread was never assigned to this area.
Huh. Alright. We'll keep that in mind. I imagine, at this point, Theo's just kind of like taking some soil from the ground, kind of testing some of the levels of it, see how fertile it is. He'll keep that fact to himself for now, as he knows that Apex is likely very keen on finding his bear and feeding him right now.
Mm-hmm.
I must have friend.
Where do you go looking for the Yaogwai? There are, as you can see, several different sections of the St. Louis Zoo.
I'm not looking specifically for the Yaogwai just yet. I want to make sure that the automatic feeder that we set up for the irradiated chimps and stuff is, and all the other animals are working.
Yes, of course. I believe they were in the wild, if I'm remembering that correctly.
I believe you're right. Or,
yeah.
Discovery Corner, maybe. It was somewhere around the...
I'll probably... It doesn't matter terribly much. I'll probably go back and look.
Yeah.
Yes. You go back and you look at the Ghoulrillas and the Oradgatans.
That's
amazing.
They had funny names.
The sort of ghoulified primates. The Ghoulrillas notably have very little in terms of hair, and what hair the Oradgatans do have is a very brilliant orange.
So nothing has changed.
It's like the orange hunters wear in the forest.
And
Oh, thank God.
The ones that can talk sound like Christopher Walken.
That was the one thing I wanted to know. I'm relieved.
Oh, would you happen to have some deviled eggs that I might devour?
Eat some dandy boy apples.
They are, as you know, the dandiest.
Are
I make
they
sure that-
unto Caesar, not the human one, the monkey?
Ape has killed ape. Anyway, I
Who's
checked
more
the-
dangerous, Caesar in Fallout or the Caesar from the Planet of the Apes movie? You decide.
You decide, chat.
Inarguably the Planet of the Apes one. But I checked to make sure that the feeder like has a good amount of feed in it, and go about just like making sure the feeder is full and you know, like stable boy duties.
You actually, you go back to the feeder and Alvin did a pretty good job on this. It's been it's on sort of like a slow clockwork timer where you see gears spinning very fastly, but the actual like lever for the food to drop out is moving very slowly. Like if you focus in on it, you can see it slowly moving, and every once in a while, maybe every couple of hours or so, it will dispense pellets. These like large, probably about as big as your fist sized clumps of protein.
I nod, note that they're working, and then I go about just kind of refilling them, topping off the chambers.
Yeah, they all watch you as you make your way. Curious about the magic food man that has appeared.
The magic food minotaur.
And give me
then
just
I would
one
go about
moment.
tracking down the bear.
You don't track down the bear, he tracks down you.
Well, my goal is to be the bear's friend, so hopefully we can have an equal give and take relationship here. I would start by heading towards their, like their cave, their previous enclosure that they seem to have been using as a place to rest before I healed them when they got wounded by the. Archer.
I think that was in River's Edge. So
yeah.
You trail back, and you look for the Yaogwai encampment, and you do see like some torn up shreds of some sort of meat. It is so mutilated that it's hard to identify without getting closer.
I also note the like while traveling through this, animals tend to have slightly better senses, even than the apex. So when the pig starts getting nervous, I feel like I know I'm getting close.
Check body. Yeah, raider.
That is a good question, though. I would be heading over there while leading the pig to check the corpse or the remains of the corpse.
The remains of the corpse. Yeah, as you walk up to this, you can see like clear chunks have been like bitten and torn out of whatever this once was. It doesn't have a distinct shape to it anymore. If you'd like to identify it, go ahead and make a smarts roll.
I'll attempt. 7. It has the vague shape of something I'd recognize.
It is clearly a human of some kind, but you don't find any indicators or descriptors that would identify what sex or what sort of person or faction they may have belonged to. It is just a mutilated pile of flesh.
Gotcha. It had already torn its way through the limbs and was making its way through the clothed bits.
Nothing but a torn up bloody note that says, "Dear Mary, one day away from retirement, soon we'll be together forever. Tell the children I love them."
Boring story. Throws it over shoulder.
I hope
Burns
no
it in
Yaogwai
Yaogwai
More
are
paper
out
for
here.
comic.
They fed recently.
Uh,
The smell of the meat, is it rancid already?
It's starting to go off a little bit.
Few flies, maggots, kind of
Yeah.
to grow on it.
Why?
It's near.
Oh, okay.
I continue inward towards its enclosure, towards its cave specifically, where I found it kind of huddling last.
Louise gives a slight poke at the remains with her foot and shudders. I hope that wasn't someone who didn't deserve it.
They weren't ready to face a Yaogwai. They were
Few
ill-prepared.
people are.
Wait here. I have a rapport with the Yaogwai. Come along, Piglet. Rue.
Okay. Easy. What were these things' name again?
Piglet and Roo.
Can't believe you just bought a pig.
He just
Yeah.
He just pulls down the wiki page and just points at the name.
Right, I'll hang with them.
No, I'm keeping the pig with me. The pig is my gift to the bear.
Oh, right.
I just don't want you guys to get hurt by the bear, or the bear gets spooked by the extra people.
Oh, yeah, she'll just wave and take a squat. Ah, how you doing, Phil? Good.
And I head in to confront the Yaogwai, if that indeed is where it is.
You head into its den, and you look around into this sort of dark enclosure. You hold still for a moment, and you narrow your focus, trying to see if you can hear any sort of sign that the Yaogwai is in this cave, and you hear nothing.
The pig is acting. The pigs is acting normally too, I guess.
Yeah, the pig is not offering any resistance. It is leading. It is being led where you take it.
I kind of lean down and look for any signs of like where it might have traveled to. Like there were a bunch of scratch marks, but that's usually just used to mark its territory.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll another wits roll.
Yeah. Also a 7.
7. You see a couple of fresh-looking paw marks, leading out of the enclosure, and into the sort of streets of Lakeside Crossing. You can tell it was going north, just because apparently it had been dragging something. But you can't tell what, and you also can't tell where it stopped, because the trail sort of peters off halfway through.
Does it go into the lake of Lakeside Crossing? Or is it just kind of in that area of stores where we ran into my brother the first time?
You're unable to tell.
Okay.
You just know it started heading that way.
I keep scrounging around, just like looking around for signs of it after I lose track of that. We had already been towards the ape enclosure and hadn't seen signs of it there. So it must be either in this area or Discovery Corner.
So where would you like to go looking for it?
I know Lakeside Crossing had a kitchen. So I'm gonna head around that way to see if it maybe like tried to bust into the pantry on that thing and like chew through some stuff.
Yeah, seeing as how the doors have already been unlocked since your last time here, it's easy enough. You go into this large sort of cafeteria almost, and you go to the back and you open up the fridge or the freezer. You walk in. There's still like large slabs of meat, probably Brahmin meat, hanging on hooks. You do notice that there are some chunks taken out of them. It does not look like this area was hit often. Perhaps something about the
Frozen meat.
Yeah, something about the frozen meat put it off, and it left it alone for the most part.
Not here. Only came here in times of desperation.
Is Theo also keeping up with the rest of the group?
Yeah, just kind of taking his time, kind of casually in the back, not wanting to be an apparent threat for the Yagwai.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like speaking my like thought process out loud as I continue to track.
You think there's a problem with your bear?
No problem. I'm just exercising its territory.
Fair enough.
Seeing as this area was not hit recently, I go back outside and continue northward, trying to find any signs of where it might have most recently been.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me another wits roll.
Hiya. 12. Very good.
This time you see another bit of a trail. You see now that it probably went into the lake at Lakeside Crossing and came out, because you find sort of moist, muddy paw prints that trek up towards the wild. And as you do, you also see another set of tracks that are equally as large, but more uniform and oval shaped.
Larger, you said.
About the same size as the Yaogwai.
Uniform and oval shape. I lean down. Do these maybe look like the telltale signs of power armor?
With your 12, no. You know a person's gait when you see it. This is a very uniform walk this being had.
Ah, it's the protectron.
He's like he's also watching out for the Yagwai. Come along, good boy.
Stay on the trail. Stay on the trail.
I've learned so much from him. He's like people.
I follow these tracks. This pair of tracks. Or I guess this pair of these, you know what I mean. I'm following the bear and the protectron.
You follow the pair of tracks, and you stumble across a site in sort of a larger, somewhat open area in the wilds. You hear...
I begin to sneak as I hurriedly travel in that direction. Hiya, Nyan.
Nyan? As you are moving your way through sort of the brush as best as you can, seeing how it has no leaves, really.
And I'm leading a pig.
And you're leading a pig. The pig begins to get sort of nervous, and as it sort of lets out that whinnying oink, the Yaogwai's head looks and turns up just a moment before a metal fist collides into the side of its face with a force that is large enough that you hear the crack as the Protectron seems to be assaulting this Yaogwai.
That motherfucker. I go and I immediately start attacking the Protectron. I let loose the pig of war, and then
you
Who immediately runs away with a squeal.
You pop up out of the brush, and as you're going into view to see this scuffle, you see now deep gashes in the Protectron's chassis. One of its arms is missing. You also see several scorch and burn marks on the Yaogwai's fur.
Yeah, I rush into action, attempting to aid this bear in its fight for its life against the robot.
Citizen, please stand back. A safety officer will be with you momentarily.
I have a quick flash, and I think this key card I have in my pocket, Is it kind of like a fob that I just kind of like press against certain machines and it works how I want?
It's more like you insert it into readers designed for it. It doesn't have like a chip that is read via radio signal or anything like that.
And the protectron doesn't really have a slot to insert it into, I'm guessing, or at least they haven't.
Not that
in
you've
general.
seen.
All right, then I'd have to use a terminal. No, I'm killing the robot.
All right. Apex rushes in.
I do like a running leap where I try to swipe at the face of the robot with my Deathclaw gauntlet.
Yeah, it's at this point, Theo and Louise, that you hear a scuffle.
The
As-
pig
You
know, I was
the
gonna
pig
ask
is
for
probably
roll
running
for
back
it.
towards you.
At some point, I was just gonna ask to roll for when we notice this shit.
The sound of the bear and the robot fighting is loud enough that you do not need to roll for it. You
Louise,
actually,
in the
Theo,
middle of-
you actually hear like a couple of lasers, the telltale sign of an energy weapon being discharged.
Theo's gonna immediately equip his laser rifle and take aim at where the noise is coming from.
All right.
Louise, in the middle of her conversation with Phil, hears that and looks up. She's like, Theo, do you hear that?
Yeah, certainly do.
Meanwhile, Piglet and Rue just come running past you.
Oh, god damn it. Gets up. It's like, come on.
So you now have a irradiated hog that is running away from danger, a apex that is running toward danger, and Theo and Louise, who are trying to go and help out their friend in this scuffle. Apex, you have the first move.
I do. I will, like I said, kind of like do that that Brad Pitt in Troy running like leap as I try to swipe at this Protectron's face. Try to take the computer out of its brain. Hiya! Oh my god! And wait! Black belt. I get to re-roll my one of my lowest D6 on my first roll. So.
All right.
Hiya! Okay, that takes it from a 6 to a 10.
There you go. You duck under a swing from this thing's one remaining arm. The force of which you realize probably would have cracked a few ribs had it hit you, but you've been in so many scuffles at this point that ducking out of the way of it is a fairly simple thing for you. You reach up and you rake across some tubings that begin to hiss and expel some sort of gas. It is still standing, however, yes, it is looking very rickety at the moment. And whoever would like to go next may.
Louise, upon entering the scene, will attempt diplomacy? Question mark with the Protectron. If I may, she will see this, sort of shake her head and just be like, Protectron, stand down? Question mark.
Make a charm roll?
Yeah, because I'm good at that. God damn, I miss having some little charm. That's -1. That.
Not bad.
Okay. 7. Not bad.
As this bear is trying to maul it, Apex also trying to maul it. It hears you say, stand down, and it sort of looks at you puzzled.
Beep, beep.
I'll say for this, it doesn't consider you a threat.
Just me?
Just you. It doesn't consider you a threat. So it will not attack you unless you attack it first.
I guess that's the start. I maybe try looking to Theo and being like, go on, to
Do something.
help me.
Theo's gonna aim and shoot at the thing.
God damn it!
All right, go for it.
This is not helping the situation!
Let's see.
That would be a body roll.
10.
Nice.
Hey, there you go. You enter a practiced shooting stance and you unleash a red-hot bolt of energy from your laser rifle, and it slams into the carapace of this protectron. And that appears to have been enough, as already grievously wounded from the fight that you did not see beforehand, the energy melts the outer sort of chassis protecting the central interface behind the sort of big egg-shaped dome that makes up its centermost being. And it just bores a hole through it, and it slumps backwards, rolls onto its back, and ceases to function.
Yay, diplomacy!
However, there is still the matter of the hurt and pissed off Yaoguai.
Yep, this is what I'm counting on.
Hey, that's Apex's
Yeah,
purview.
we'll
Go find the pig.
we'll
Oh shit, we're gonna have to chase a greased up pig, aren't we?
God damn it.
Terrified pigs.
Sui, you're pig.
Yeah, I look at the Yaoguai, now that its prey is kind of like slumping over and stopped moving. I'm kind of the only thing here. Does it seem to recognize me at all from our last encounter when I healed it? Actually, I guess I fed it also in one of our encounters.
You did feed it last time. You gave it a rad roach. Just judging from this creature's posture, it looks at the now catatonic protectron on the ground, lets out a hot breath, and then turns its gaze towards you.
I'm not holding up a threatening stance, but I am kind of defensive as I slowly reach into my bag.
I guess this would be a charm roll as well.
Alright.
I'll say go ahead and give it a +1, because this creature might, in fact, recognize you.
Okay. Yeah! 11!
11!
As I slowly reach into my pack, and I slowly pull out a stim pack, the same thing that I stabbed it with previously that made its burn marks not hurt. And I hold it up slowly.
The Yaoguai sort of maintains its ground, looks at you.
I slowly start to walk towards it, hand out, but kind of like palm facing up so it can kind of like smell my hand.
It, with a big moist nose, sniffs the air in your direction. And the wrinkles around its nose sort of begin to fade, and it doesn't sense any threat from you, and it relaxes somewhat.
I walk over to it slowly until my hand is like almost touching it, and then I wait for it to kind of like lean in a little before I let my hand kind of like touch the side of its head.
It pauses for a moment. This wild animal, trapped in its enclosure for around 200 years, having not seen basically anyone save for your brother for near centuries. You see a flash of recognition in its almost unnaturally yellow eyes, and it slowly presses its head into your palm.
I slowly walk up with the stim pack out as I kind of like rub my hand around the crest of its jawline up towards like near the back of its ear. And then as I kind of like, not look into its eyes, but sort of like respectfully, like kind of like just stand there. I ready to move because I kind of like ready myself defensively as I jab it in the shoulder with the stim pack where it seems to have been blasted and wounded.
You press the stim pack into its body. It empties its payload of curative medicines into the Yao Guai. It winces and pulls away from you momentarily, taking a few steps backwards as the rather than the sensation of being jabbed with a needle, the sound, you realize, is more what scares it, as the sort of hisses out closer than it would have liked, but it slowly but surely regains its composure as the curative cocktail inside of the stim pack begins to knit its wounds closed.
I wait for it to kind of like calm down after it's wounded. And then, like, how does it react after it's been like healed again?
It takes a few cautious steps, as if testing to see if its wounds are going to get in its way at all, or if he's testing to see if he can walk. And as he seems to have no problems walking now, his wounds begin to close. He just sort of looks at you and waits.
I do look it in the eyes now. As I look at the pig tracks on the ground, just kind of touch them with my claw, look back at the bear, and just kind of like nod over my shoulder towards where the pig tracks go, and I start walking.
You begin to walk off. It does not follow you. It watches as you go into the distance.
As I notice it's not following me, I turn again and look back at it. I yell towards it, "Food!" and wave. And then I drop a chunk of... I know I have more meat. I always have meat. I'm the apex.
Barbecue.
I take some squirrel off a stick and kind of like plop it down on the ground. I point, and then I wave, and then I keep walking.
As you begin to drop food on the ground, it sort of is like, oh, right, this is the guy that gave me food last time. In recognition, begins to trot towards the bits of squirrel that you leave on the ground, and begin to lead it, assumingly back to its enclosure, correct?
I'm following the tracks of the pig now. We're hunting pig.
Alright, you're hunting pig.
Hunting pig.
Hunting pig.
As
If the bear,
Apex,
if the bear ever catches up to me, I would like kind of like point to the tracks as I'm looking at it, like using it to maybe help me track it.
as Apex goes off, Louise sort of looks at that, looks at the protectron, sighs, looks at Theo, says, "Fine, you killed it. You're helping me. And I want to roll to search this thing for anything that might help with Alvin's power armor."
let's have a little look-see here.
Apologies, Louise. I didn't realize you wanted to talk the thing down.
Ugh, you know what? Either or. Anyway, Apex has got to do some bonding with his, thanks. Friend?
Quite an impressive way with animals, that one.
Yeah, it is his zoo, and yeah. I mean, we've dealt with that one before. Well, he has, and yeah. Goes over to Protectron and shoves it with her foot. Maybe there's something here Alva can use. It is not a new day, so I can't roll Scavenger again. So I'm just gonna roll regular wits on this, I believe.
Sure.
Sure. That's an 8.
8?
Yeah.
You see a mostly intact device. It's strange. It looks like a... You know those old hand irons that you had to heat up, like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It looks like that. It's more of a boxy shape, and it seems to have some sort of dish attached to it. Theo, given your Brotherhood training and knowledge, you immediately clock that as a biometric scanner.
Biometric scanner. I'm sure Alvin will find something useful with that.
Huh. Cocks her head. How heavy is that, approximately? Like, can I lift that, or is that...
About 3 pounds.
Oh, yeah. She'll fish that out and be like, oh, I'm gonna make this man happy today. Somewhere, Alvin is just sipping lemonade he found, being like, yeah, good day.
Say, you don't mind me asking a question or two? How long you known Apex and Alvin?
It's funny. I think logically it ain't been that above Game God. It's been like, what, a month or two?
I think it's been closer to 3 months at this point.
3 months, good God.
Whole summer. This is our summer vacation.
This is our time down here. Reference, anyone? I'm old. I'd say about 3 months now? God, it feels way longer and way shorter in some ways.
Doing this for 3 years above game.
Good God.
Y'all formed a pretty tight-knit group in such a short amount of time.
Short amount of time, but goddamn, a lot has happened. Though,
And they're
to be
just the way.
fair, well, you've only just joined us, and you could say a good amount's already happened, hadn't it?
No, very true.
Yeah, well, strap in, buddy. It's gonna stay that way. Looks off in the direction Apex went and was like, I get the feeling maybe we should let them have their space, so maybe we should just wait for them at the enclosure we were at.
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
I wonder if any of these food stands still have anything in them.
Well, I ain't gonna turn down more scavenging. Come on. Off we skip like it. We're in the Wizard of Oz.
There is Theo and Louise go off to perhaps see if they can find anything useful in the ruins of the St. Louis Zoo. Apex, why don't you go ahead and give me a wits roll to try and locate this hog.
I will do just that. Hiya! 12.
Yeah.
That pig ran in mud.
Having thought to itself probably that the danger was over, the hog seems to have began trotting lightly down a trail, just sort of taking in the sights with its 4 eyes.
Has the pig noticed me or the bear yet? Depending on how far away from me the Yaogwai is.
It does not seem to have.
How is the Yaogwai reacting to the live pig?
The Yaogwai, now with a mouth full of squirrel, is sort of focused on chewing that. But it trots up behind you.
I slowly point towards the pig.
Let's see what it does. You feel this thing's footsteps and presence as a breeze blasts by you. As it goes charging after this hog, you hear a as in one fell swoop, the Yaogwai seems to have fit both of the hog's heads into its mouth and clamped down.
Goodbye, Piglet and Roo. Now you are Piglet and Chew.
When I see you again.
But
I once again slowly make my way to the Yaogwai that is now consuming much larger and fresher meat.
Yes, as opposed to your previous offering of rotting radroach, the fresh hog seems to be greatly occupying its attention. It probably hasn't had fresh food like this in a long time.
I slowly make my way to the bear. Seeing how it reacts the closer I get to it and its fresh feed.
Make another charm roll.
Still plus
Because-
1 or just base this time?
It'll be +1. You gave it the food before, but you are getting closer towards it, and animals tend to react poorly when you fuck with them while they're eating.
Yeah, 7. So
It
not
lets
not
out-
full on next to it, but
Yeah, it lets out a little bit of a warning.
and I test its patience, but I do not outright abruptly go in towards where it's eating.
It does that.
I kind of stay at the edge of where it's growling and just try to let it get used to my presence.
It does that thing where its like head is still down in its food. And its eyes just snap up towards you, looking at you as it slowly continues to eat. Now just watching you as it does.
I let it have a couple more bites before I step in and I grab the pig's leg to truly test its patience and to see what it deems me, whether it deems me as a threat or as competition.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah, sorry. I let it get a couple more bites in, and then I truly test its patience as I walk over and I reach for the kind of the shank of the pig, its back leg, and see if it tries to snap at me. See if it sees me. Essentially, I'm testing the bear to see if it deems me an equal or as a lesser.
Make another charm roll. No +1 this time.
Natural ones, that's a 2. At which point, if it does snap at me, I am going to attempt to intimidate it.
Just trying to think of what it would do.
It's snake eyes, so it's not good, whatever.
Because it tolerates your presence. You've given it food on multiple occasions now, and you just helped it in a fight.
But I'm still being a threat to its direct source of food, which it probably believes it earned. It is a bear.
The bear pulls its bloody maw away from the hog's carcass. Fangs dripping with blood and viscera from this creature. And it raises itself up onto its hind legs and looks down at you with a snarl. And you read in its expression the ruthlessness it must have taken to survive this long in the wasteland. And it seems to have... It doesn't see you as a threat, but it is clearly trying to state to you, this is my territory.
I look back up at it with the eyes of something that hunts things larger than it, knowing that my prey is twice this thing's size at minimum.
That is a body roll for you, correct? Because you have the perk. So go ahead and roll the body
I'm essentially
roll.
letting my anime JoJo aura out. It's still a 6. God damn.
That's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate, but the dice are telling a story.
Yeah. Seeing you not back down after trying to, it believes, take some of its food, it charges at you.
Alright, so it kind of like takes a swing at me. I am going... Essentially, Apex would just kind of like Dark Souls roll to the side, trying to get out of the way of the charging bear, while still staying...
It is... You are savvy and familiar enough with animals to realize it is trying to make you back down.
Apex recognizes this, but he knows what his agenda is here.
All right. I will need you to roll wits, as it is now being aggressive towards you.
Yeah, 7. So I'm gonna take half damage.
A large, meaty paw swipes out towards you, and you realize in the moment that it makes contact with you why your family told you to stay away from these things as a child. As you roll out of the way, it clips you in the arm, and go ahead and roll strange for me.
Strange. Ooh la la. 2d6. 8.
8. It smacks you in the arm with enough force that you feel something come loose. It seems to have dislocated your wrist.
So I kind of like get my arm up and kind of like pinned into my side to the point where I'm blocking my vital areas, but he still cracks me like right at the edge of my femur. Or my,
Yes, you only take 1 damage. However, your body rolls made to attack with your arms will have a -1.
I kind of grit my teeth, look at the bear, and kind of let out this sort of like feral roar as I... at this point, as it charged past me and swiped at me, I get between it and the pig.
It does not appear happy about that at all. So what do you do?
I'm going to continue to act defensively and see if I can wear this thing down.
Okay, go ahead and assuming you're just trying to tire this thing out, go ahead and roll another wits.
Yeah! 15!
There
double
you go.
sixes.
And on the other hand,
I realized,
now
okay, I can't get hit by this thing again.
now keenly aware of this thing's strength, you are more... The adrenaline begins to pump, and you are in fight mode. You begin to duck and dive out of the way of this thing's swings. This thing already having been in a fight today, you can tell it's looking for an excuse not to do this, but you're still in its way.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep going until it feels like it's tired. Until it just kind of like gives up on the food, essentially.
Okay.
Like, it's just not fucking worth it.
Go ahead and make me either a body roll for intimidation or a wits roll to try and physically wear it down.
I'm going to attempt to intimidate one more time as I stand in front of the, like, having just taken what is conceivably one of its better shots. I'm going to, like, stand mighty and strong and just kind of, like, roar in its face again. Yeah! 13! I am the alpha here.
You both are just roaring at each other now, as it's the primal fury of a wasteland survivor and the actual feral
Embodiment of the wilds.
Yes, this predator that's been around since before the dawn of man, and you stand toe-to-toe with this creature, and you see it begin to catch its breath, look at you, look at the hog, and you see something in its posture shift when it looks at you. It now stands a bit straighter and looks you in the eyes. And then it proceeds to walk back to its pen.
As it looks at me and starts to back down, I would grab that haunch of the pig with my unbroken wrist, lift it up, take just a big old bite out of the side of that pig, like a candy apple biting out of the ham of its ass. Just show it that I am eating the food that it thought it earned. Just one bite, and then I throw the remaining carcass of the pig to it.
Whatever sort of animalistic version of respect you see it in this creature, and it slowly kneels down and takes the hog that you've given it, and it races off, dragging the bleeding carcass of this hog back to its den.
I undo the Deathclaw gauntlet, which is around my broken wrist, kind of hang it at my side, and wander off to find Theo and Louise.
It's like, over at the enclosure, it's like Louise would have been concerned at first when she first heard the first roar, and then when she hears just that, she would just been like, yeah, they're just dick swinging, don't worry about it.
Yeah, as I finally like meet back up with you guys, the bottom part of my arm, like around the wrist and beyond, is just giant, swollen, and purple.
Clocks that, sighs, looks to Theo. Can you set wrists?
I certainly can.
There you go.
We got into an argument, but I think it was settled. And I hold up my arm.
Oh, good. Went well then?
Yes, we can go.
Actually, you look better well for wear than I would have expected out of that. So, yeah, good job.
It was good training. It is an excellent combatant.
Gives Theo a grin. Like I said.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I suppose we should go find Alvin now.
Oh yeah, I think we got lots to tell him.
Apex nods as he looks off to the bear's enclosure with the trail of bloody pig blood leading towards it. And on my way out, I will take the Deathclaw gauntlet into my left hand, and underneath where the bear had clawed, I will claw my own little mark on a tree as we leave.
Need me to check out that wound of yours, or you just want to walk it off?
It'll have my scent, is the point.
Again, just more dick swinging. It's like, you do me, I do yours.
I need the bear to respect me in all ways if it's ever going to be a companion.
So you sort of replace or
Not
trace.
replace. I mark around where the bear has clawed with a similar claw.
This is funny. Next to the markings made by the bear, you rake clearly a Deathclaw marking.
That's a more civilized version of marking your territory that I would have expected, to be honest.
Well, the problem is the problem is it looks like a Deathclaw.
Yeah, any survivalist that comes through here is just gonna be like, nope.
No, stay away from the zoo. That's a Deathclaw marking.
It's just gonna be Grandpa Simpson going into the porn room.
Just nope.
Nope.
Yep.
Is your name Bart?
So you're making your way out of the zoo then?
Yeah. We're heading back towards Alvin as Theo helps set my wrist for me.
That's enough day trip adventures.
All right.
I'll be back again to see if I can complete my quest.
Yeah, Theo, do you have any perks or skills for helping Apex out of his situation?
Absolutely. He does have Field Medic, if that helps at all.
Can you read me what that does?
When you attempt to heal an organic target, roll both smarts on a 10 plus, target heals for 2 HP. Result 7 to 9, it heals for 1. On a result of 6 or less, they take 1 additional damage.
I only need the 7 to 9 to heal back. Just don't break it more.
12.
There you go.
Hey! My wrist is set. Still achy.
You realize that the wrist isn't broken, just dislocated? And sure enough, you prepare things to help set it and splint it, just to keep it steady. But you know what you need to do.
I just hold up my arm. Yeah, I blocked its blow, and then you just kind of like grab my hand, pull out, twist. You just hear the sickening pop, and then I was like, ah!
Ooh, that sounds like a good one.
As Theo, you relocate the wrist back into its socket. There will probably be some swelling, some pain. But from what you've seen from the Apex, you know he could probably take it.
It's going to be a bit sore for a bit, but doesn't look like anything you can't handle.
I just start rubbing where it's sore to try to get the blood flowing.
Theo, should he be doing that?
I mean, I'm not going to try and stop him.
Looks like she's tempted to smack his hand away,
Apex,
but she's like,
don't pick at it.
Just like, stop it!
Get the spray bottle. Put my head in the cone.
You do need a cone.
I got some Med-X if you want it.
I'll be fine.
Yeah, more for me then.
Much
Looks
more
at him
for
like,
you.
really, dude?
Apex has had an aversion to chemical medicine since he got poisoned once.
Yeah, that is true.
Ah.
You begin to make your way back to the Red Rocket station where you know Alvin to be. Meanwhile, Alvin.
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
Woo!
Howdy.
It's Alvin time.
It's Alvin time.
It's at this point, Alvin, you're beginning to wrap up your work for the day. You've realized now fully that upgrading these weapons is a bit more of a time-consuming task than you first realized.
Yeah.
But you repair the car, you refueled the fuel cell, and you fixed up some of the armor that was left behind.
It's on a pretty good day there.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got in the old grab bag over here. And I'm just gonna rustle around through the shelves and whatnot to see if I can't find anything to eat around here.
Sure. Go ahead and make a wits roll for me.
Gotcha. Let's see. All right, that's an 8.
8. You find an already opened bag of potato chips.
Well, may as well try. Squeak of a stale chip.
If stale could be stale, that's what these chips taste like. They're very unpalatable. Probably not great for you, but it's food.
Keep you going at least. Let's see. See if we got... it kind of reminds me back when I was young, honestly. Let's see if we can't... Yeah, I got a bottle of water. I'll go ahead and drink that too, and that'll be nutrition for today.
Yeah, because you fed yourself. You see the sun beginning to crest past the horizon now.
I like all the question marks in this session.
Now seeing that it is getting quite late into the evening, you begin to wonder where the others are. That is until you see the group of them beginning to approach the open garage.
Are they close enough that I can recognize them? Or are they just dots in the horizon right now?
Apex is wearing a cow skull.
Counted. Hey! Hey! Over here! Over here! I'm safe and sound! Unexploded!
The group of the three of you hear Alvin yelling at you.
Yeah,
Through the garage.
Apex just thinks to himself, exploding was an option.
Looks at both of them. Why did he say? What did he say? Unexploded.
He said he didn't explode, which is good. It is better than the alternative.
Everyone's been having fun today.
Theo's just gonna keep his rifle shouldered and walk on over.
More and more thinking to himself, the fuck have I got myself into?
Service star, repowered fuel cells, and I got a fixed up ride for us all. Whew!
Sounds like you put in a long day's work.
Oh, god damn! Let me tell you, God, this has been one of the most conducive days in recent memory as far as machining in the Wasteland is concerned. I'll slap you on the back. Come here, let me go ahead and show you what we got going on over here, and I'll show off the polished and refurbished, fixed up car. You wouldn't believe how many bits and bobs they got up in the back of this service station. I'm telling you, they got everything for me to basically go ahead and throw a cot in there and live there for the rest of my life if I didn't know all y'all.
We might have found something that you'd like too.
Nice job,
Oh, did
Sean.
you?
There was a power armor chassis there's a trading post at the station that way. The man said he'd be willing to give it to us if we could help him talk. He seems to have lost his voice.
Oh yeah, there's all sorts of goodies over there. We gotta take a day trip again once we're done with that, shit over in Westport.
Are you wearing that new armor, by the way, Louise?
Oh no, but I'll get to that. Don't worry. But she's like, oh, but check this out. I got you whatchamacallit thing. Looks at Theo, then doesn't wait for him to figure out. Whatever. Here it is. Yay!
Let's see what.
It
Oh!
to a rogue protectron.
I'll look over, Theo. Can you blend protectron parts into power armor?
Well, there are some parts that are conducive to each other. A little difficult to elucidate off of vagaries, but yeah, there's some stuff that might be helpful.
A metric scanner might help with some kind of a targeted or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too.
Hey, we were one mind at that point. All right, let's go ahead and sell that away. Thank you, Starshine. I appreciate that.
Oh, it was so good. But look. She pulls out her new laser. What was it again? A laser gun? Yeah. She pulls out her new laser gun and the Chinese stealth arm, and she's like, look at these.
Holy. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Have you seen anything so sexy in your entire life?
Oh. When the moon hit Flatwoods, but that's about it. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. That's nice. That laser pistol, does it look like Dave's? Or does it look a lot like more commercial than Dave's?
Notably,
Dave and his indie laser pistol.
Yeah, because Dave had a Brotherhood laser gun, so it probably looked nothing like.
Dave's laser pistol looked quite different from this one. Dave's laser pistol, notably, it had sort of white exterior, and a bit more of a polished, cleaned up look. It didn't look as ragged and worn as this one does.
This thing looks damn nice though. You got energy cells for it? If not, we're gonna have to keep an eye on it.
Oh,
The best thing about it is they keep.
I got 2 more ready for this fucker.
Well, you're ready to take that little darling for a spin, then.
Oh, indeed I am.
How did you come across all this shit? You guys hit every single encounter from here to Timbuktu when you guys going over to the zoo?
That trading post was great, Urshan. Like I said, we gotta go back.
There's a trading post up there?
Oh yeah, we found Bo. Was it Bo?
Yeah.
Hasn't been Bo.
I'm surprised you guys have gotten this far without running into it.
Honestly, we just kind of all meander.
That was for you. That was for you, Connor.
We just all kind of meander. I say as I look toward the hard screen.
We ignored the tutorial.
We tend to go in various directions. Anyway, we found it now, so it's good. It's good.
My wrist is healed.
Your wrist is healed. You punch a wall and just walk back.
Time to test it. Put. Sitting there with an even more purple wrist. That wasn't fun.
Slams it into the side of the car, makes
Well
that
done,
makes the cartoon squeaky noise of pain.
Look what I can do. Opens car door, slams wrist in it.
My wrist is healed. I miss the pain.
Now
Or
my
the mind.
now my wrist is stronger than ever. It can never be hurt again.
Oh,
I'm building bone calluses.
all
It
right.
remembers
So
the attack. I'm building up.
get
I'm
get
building
every
up an
injury.
immunity.
Get every injury in the wasteland. Have ultra instinct against every injury.
Every morning I wake up and shoot myself in the foot to build resistance. Trying to find an immunity.
Well,
Sure.
in addition to the car, in addition to all the stuff you guys have been going ahead and getting, including what happened to your wrist, Apex?
I fought a bear. It's okay, we're friends now.
Yeah, zoo bear.
Are we trying to tame a bear? I mean, that would kind of fold the entire thing over in that would kind of fold the entire thing we're dealing with, honestly. Throw a whole bear at Deuce.
I think it would be fun.
Honestly, it sounds kind of amusing personally. But you're okay? I'll like call up my hands like, yeah, thumbs up, like
Yeah, and if we need more robot parts, I'm pretty sure that protectron is still there. It might have a voice box.
Might be worth going over again. I just grabbed what I could carry at least.
I'll have to think of it. I'll have to think of that.
Doesn't have to be now, though. I know we're on a timetable.
Oh yeah, that might be something to go ahead and talk to people about and whatnot. But damn, that'll be nice. That'll save us a lot of work making the power armor too.
Maybe once we've finished our job in Westport, we can continue this quest line. ...
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I see it. I see the quest log right there. All right, well, got all that.
Southwest.
We got the fuel cells powered up and topped off and raring to go. Turns out that charging station over there, I'll point at the charging station, that still worked. I wouldn't recommend using it for a while. It kind of killed the power here for a little bit.
I was wondering why you put that in the past tense.
Oh yeah, it kind of rattled like something out of like one of those Captain Cosmo comic books or whatnot, and then all the power died, but it fixed stuff up, and power looks like it's kicking on, so it's not bad. That being said, armor, all the armor's fixed up, raring to go. The upgrades I wanted to make, I'm sorry, y'all. I can't really think of that to do in a timely manner. I have a couple theories, but not really anything going on. Like with the Madcaster, I was thinking of this little toy like me and some of the other kids had when we were little, like little paintball guns and whatnot. Maybe some kind of feed system, but I don't know. It's gonna take a lot of work. Because we're working with technology that I didn't even know worked around for a while.
Well, they can wait for now. I mean, as I said, I now have a laser pistol, so I'm pretty happy.
Absolutely, and the best thing about a Madcaster too is if you need ammo, and I'll just wave at the wasteland. You can probably find it out there somewhere. So yeah, that's everything. Power cells should be cool enough to touch, but I want to give them another hour because they were steaming like something fierce. I had to wrap them in way too many cloths to go ahead and get them out of that thing. And get your armor if you got it, and car's all good and ready to go. Just a normal day in the mechanic, and I'll make an exaggerated gesture of breathing on the back of my hand and wiping my knuckles on my chest.
I bought a pig and fed it to a bear as I get in the car.
You fucking what, man?
Pigs are expensive, I say as I stick my head out the window waiting for somebody to turn on the car and drive.
Yeah, I'll say pigs are expensive. You take a pig, you go ahead and...
Theo's gonna get into the back seat, his eyes still very heavily dilated, as he just kind of tries not to fall asleep in the back.
We'll find that one guy on our way that we saw once that saw us and was just like, that's awesome. And he'll see Theo and Theo will see him and they'll just be like, killer. Yeah, Louise will get in her driving seat and rev this baby up.
All right. As you begin to make your way back to, assumedly, Westport,
Yeah.
you hit the road. The engine revs to life. It sounds good. It feels good to drive. And Louise, you have no problems taking this baby out of the Red Rocket station. And you make your way back to Westport. You pull in back to the spot where you had left it previously to avoid suspicion.
Well, if they know it was us, should we park it somewhere more incognito, or is this spot still
Well,
good?
they didn't see you come in with the car. According to Delilah, they just recognized you. They recognized you because you wore the same disguises you had on when you pulled the car in. They didn't recognize you from the car. They recognized you from your disguises.
Oh, okay.
So, the car should be safe and hidden. And you know a way to safety from the sewers.
Yeah, alright. Yeah, sounds good.
Alright. What would you all do as you make your way back to Westport? Where would you go?
Like in
As
Westport,
like,
or
once we get into Westport.
Yeah,
you're at Westport right now. You're
Okay,
basically
yeah,
on the
we
outskirts.
would have gone back in through the sewer, like, you know, making our way back in the way we came out,
Mm-hmm.
so as not to raise that much suspicion. I obviously would
I mean,
not be wearing
considering-
my face right now.
I guess since it doesn't seem smart to walk around just willy-nilly, it seems like we should just go back to the hotel, I guess.
Yeah, wait for Barry and them to get to us.
It is like after dark at this point, right?
Considering it was like evening when I was about to, you know, deal with the bear, probably by now. I'd assume.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
it has to be night by now.
It's the time of night where the sky is sort of like a purple fading to orangish. The nightlife in Westport is just starting to kick in. Real world equivalent would probably be about 7 o'clock in the evening.
It's dark at like 5 now, and I hate it.
Yeah. No vitamin D.
500.
More
Internal
hours,
clock not
Ds.
work well.
Yeah. Apex would just rest. Maybe like draw pictures of him riding a bear into battle in his journal. That'd be so cool.
That would be so cool.
All right.
Louise is like scoping out the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go for it.
Louise is like scoping out her stealth armor, being like, and I looked at a picture of this. This is like just like full black armor, right? This isn't like just a chest plate.
Yeah, it is a full suit of armor.
you're wearing a scuba suit, reinforced scuba suit, basically.
Essentially, that's what it looks like. Yeah, it is armor plated, but it is very form fitting. Just this dark gray to black armor with a large sort of orangish yellow dome, a dome-like visor over the front of it.
Hell with it. Hell with it. For funsies, she's just gonna be like, I assume these hotel rooms have like a bathroom.
Yeah.
She's just gonna grab that and take it in there and close the door, and she's just gonna you know, she's gonna be like, I'm gonna try this on, but she's not gonna tell them. She's be like, she's just gonna grab it and go in.
So you grab it and go into the bathroom.
Yeah, she's gonna try it on. Because it's like, this is different than her like little chest plate stuff. Just like, all right, what's this like? Gets it on, comes back out, and she's just like, am I doing this right? How's this stuff work? I think it's right?
Y'all want me to come in and check, or?
Oh no, she's come out. She's just like, does this look right to you, Urshan?
Sarah, I've never seen it before.
It's,
honestly, it looks pretty decent to me.
it's an older piece of technology, but quite useful if you know how to use it.
Oh, you know the ins and outs of this one?
Yeah, roughly. Seen some guides, old, pre-wasteland technology.
Above game. God, how does my ass look in this outfit?
Decide, artists!
Roll body.
Is this like as good? Is this as good as my outfit in Baldur's Gate that I just got?
I mean,
It's immaculate.
Keese's ass is bodacious in that outfit.
Oh,
I'll just
God,
say
her
it.
ass is bodacious in that outfit.
Probably not that, but picture like Black Widow.
Oh, nice. I like it. Appreciative. Like, shame I can't wear this for our disguise shit with the berries got in mine. At least I would be looking good.
You probably put it underneath whatever you're wearing, minus the helmet, of course.
She looks at them like, you think?
Yeah, it should be able to fit whatever loose clothes you got on top of it.
Makes sense to me.
Like, yeah.
You ever seen a stealth boy? Any of you?
Wait, say
I'm
that
awesome.
again?
Any of you ever seen a stealth boy?
Yes. I've
Would I have?
seen one be used before. I say yes, I'm just kind of jotting in my notebook.
Well, technology is different, but kind of similar with the stealth armor you got. Light reflective and a extra pad to make sure you don't make too much noise when you're moving.
Huh. After thought, she grabs the laser pistol, puts down the visor, and just sort of strikes a pose for funsies. Apex, I look good enough to be on one of your comics?
I look up. Apex, who, by and large, it has been fairly asexual so far, just kind of like glances you over. Now I have to think of all of the... God, how many female characters were in that comic series, like, from Fallout? I feel like there was one. Ah, yes. With your... Actually, funny enough, with your hair cut this way, looking you over, you look almost like if Mistress Mystery were in a sci-fi comic.
That's probably a good thing, right? Okay, yeah.
I
Chris
nod.
nods
I
and then
nod.
goes back to drawing in his journal.
Yeah. All right, cool. I'm very happy with my purchases.
Well, I imagine we want to get some rest before, the whole ordeal.
Yeah, I'm thinking we need a decent amount of rest to go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
I think we all got a good amount of field armor and whatnot going on. And like I said, everything's tooled up, ready to go. We all got some new stuff. Yeah. I think we'll knock this out of the park, personally.
Yeah. Fingers crossed, I guess. Suddenly looking slightly less enthusiastic about the whole affair.
Don't worry. Just do a couple things and it'll go ahead and go quick as a whip. We'll see.
It ain't that.
Is it Barry?
Oh yeah, Barry's a dick.
Well, I mean, is that what you're worried about?
Yeah, in some ways, yeah. A lot of ways. Yeah, fuck Barry, man.
When this is all over, you're going to have to make a decision about him.
There's the fucking problem.
I forget, in the plan, I know I'm going to be relatively close to where Barry is. I know we're going to be split up for a good chunk of that.
Let me see what each of your assignments were for this plan.
I know I'm supposed to be serving drinks.
Yes, you are going to be disguised as a bartender. And you are going to... Barry's going to give you something... excuse me. It is a chem of his own creation. I believe he called it Jabber.
Right, stuff that makes you talky.
It's basically Wasteland Truth Serum. And combined with alcohol is probably going to have a pretty astounding effect. Theo, I think it was your job to get a general layout of the area.
I'm pretty sure I'm like kind of the recon/sniper just outside to give information as needed.
Yes. Apex, your job is to prevent the backup from arriving.
That sounds about right.
And Alvin's job is to set up the bugs so that you can catch Deuce saying something incriminating.
And we're supposed to be getting our outfits tomorrow, I believe, is that time frame?
Yes.
And we still haven't we know what building Big O is in, but we still haven't quite figured out, like, where in that building he is.
That's true.
I do have an item that could help us get him out, but I'd like to use that on something later, if possible. I still have that breaching charge.
Yeah.
Good to know that we have that in case of emergencies.
You've got plenty of options, especially now. And so, Runaways, are you content to wait out the rest of this night and wait for the next day to roll around?
Thinking about
I am.
Thinking about it, Apex might kind of close his journal after putting the last finishing touches on his bear drawing. It might be worth trying to scope out that prison to see if we can figure out where Big O is held.
If only we had someone who was particularly adept and equipped at stealth.
Only there was someone who recently bought some kind of stealth armor, Theo. I don't know who that might be.
None's come to mind.
Sneaky suit,
Okay,
some sort of
God.
virtuous mission.
God.
Huh.
Y'all think you're fucking funny. I get it. Haha. Sheesh. Oh, all right.
I show you a small picture I sketched of you in like a Metal Gear Solid-esque sneaking suit.
Oh, man, I can't even be mad. That's really good. Makes me look really cool.
Thank you. If we had a refrigerator, we could put it on.
Alright. she fishes in her backpack and finds like a little tie and just sort of like she does up her hair into a ponytail as best she can just to finish the look. Like, all right, so where am I going?
Flick over to the map.
Achoo!
I'll take us over to our
Gary's gone.
I pinged this area over here, which is what we were kind of given the idea, like by the barracks. We were kind of told that that was their prison area, right?
You know there is a building right next to the barracks that is specifically for holding cells.
Sorry, my roller was covering up that area.
You all right?
It's somewhere in there.
All right, and so above,
Pavilion
just looking to see where if I can figure out where approximately Big O is in there.
And we might be able to get a better higher up view from the pavilion garage if we could see through some of the windows.
That ain't a bad idea, too.
Could get some people
All
on
right.
the floor, could get some people in the sky.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna start with that then.
And if you're looking for an exit strategy, go ahead and look up anything. You can go ahead and clamber, and keep in mind that you can go ahead and knock over anything as a distraction and pinch.
Can do. All right, got my little laundry list. I'll be back.
Good hunting.
I'm going to follow along in case something bad does happen and I can cause a distraction.
Okay. Starshine.
Help with getaway.
You don't think I can do it?
I believe you can do it. I just want to make sure that if anything goes awry, you're not alone.
Well, wait, above game. That's the question. Are you telling Louise you're doing this? Or are you just sort of like?
I'm not gonna hide the fact that I'm following you.
Okay, as she starts to go, and then she notices you trailing behind. She looks back like, I guess you're coming with.
Just to have a second pair of eyes, at least.
Okay, come on,
Careful,
Apex.
you
Let's
two.
do this.
I nod as I have my mask and stuff in my bag if I need it. And I follow Louise at kind of a distance.
Alrighty.
Damn. Well,
So-
Theo, just the both of us. Sorry.
You're all right. Louise, you are actively beginning to sneak along, correct?
Yes, in armor that has wits roll for sneaking, that automatically succeeds.
Yep. You sort of crouch down and begin to move quietly. Notably, you feel like your footsteps are being sort of cushioned, and you notice immediately that there is very little sound when you move. And as you do, the domed visor piece sort of locks in around your head, and you hear "Wei Ren Min Fu," as you then become invisible.
Oh shit! Like, oh my god! Wow, that like you did say cloaking. I would also
Apex
like.
blinks and then you're translucent.
I would also love if an actual Chinese person just clocked you on your pronunciation.
Listen, that was the first time I've ever tried to pronounce any Chinese word ever. So I'm sorry. I more than likely got that wrong.
Did he just say asparagus cheese feet?
That would be crazy.
I'm gonna get that tattooed.
It looked so cool when I did it. I don't know why they kept laughing at me when they were tattooing it on.
All right, so Apex is in fact tagging along.
Yep. In
All right.
kind of like just normal garb. Like I'm not wearing my Apex gear. I'm just kind of like wandering around, doing my best to just kind of like look like, because I know it's past the curfew.
Oh,
But
yeah.
look like I just kind of like belong.
All right, as
Like,
the
hold on,
two
do I
of
have
you,
anything in my inventory? Yeah, I have a bottle of booze that I'm just gonna have like kind of part open in my hand as I'm walking.
then hit the streets as the now invisible Louise and the quite visible Apex with prop begin to make your way towards the holding cells. And as you do, that is where we're going to have a break for the time being.
Hot damn!
Gonna go to the bathroom.
Apex always feels comfortable if he has a prop or a mask he can hide behind, so he doesn't have to be Bastion.
Under the bathroom, buddy.
Speaking of terrible accents, check out my Craven video. You can hear me do a Nico Bellic impression, basically. The reference points for my Eastern European voices. Nico Bellic.
Cousin, I want to go bowling.
Cousin, we can go bowling. Yellow car! Linky Linky, for those who have not seen yet. It will be a 3-part miniseries.
Roman, you fat fuck.
You fat fuck, Roman! Big American titties! Good luck with this, Invod.
Hi, we'll be right back.
I'm hearing my portrayal of the character of Craven is actually quite accurate to the Ultimate series.
Let's go.
Aggie said it meant strength. It was supposed to mean serve the people, which is the People's Republic of China's unofficial motto. Specifically, the Chinese Communist Party. What? I'm just reading the wiki page.
Don't give me that. I'm reading the wiki.
I was kidding? Oh. Okay.
Get pranked.
I'll be right back.
Dude, that was the sickest prank. How you been, Zan?
I've been all right. I'm in like a weird flux period of not quite flu state, but also I can't keep warm no matter what I do.
Mm.
So I'm like just bundled up and in a big burrito. How are you?
I'm good. I'm in much higher spirits than I was 2 weeks ago. So
I'm glad.
That's good.
I'm doing pretty good. It's been a rough time, but I think I'm finally getting over it. So that being said, just working and writing. Finished writing one project and just seeing what comes out of that once it's all squared away. I've been working out a lot too.
Hell yeah.
I do some weights and then my arms hurt and my abs hurt for quite some time. And I know that Lanny, you work out, so do you have any tips for that? I'm on 30. Should I knock it down to 25? I don't know. Should you hurt after this? I feel like you should, but I don't know.
You should hurt a little, but I mean, my best advice would just be make sure you stretch and drink a lot of water after. Like, hydration, stretching, and rest are the most important parts.
Hydration, rest. Okay. All right. I'll give that a little I'll give that a little looky-loo then. Thank you. I really appreciate that because I honestly didn't know who to ask to for any workout advice. So
Honestly, picking up yoga was one of the best things I ever did in terms of my overall body health. Just making sure that you can, like, it's good to build muscle, but you also kind of want that muscle to be usable, so you need to kind of stay limber with it too. Like, if you can lift 400 pounds, great, but if you can do that but you can't like touch the center of your back or like scratch your own back, like what the fuck's the point?
Right. You're right. Actually, I would like, I want to look good, but I also want to have my mobility to still go ahead and do runs through the forest.
Functional strength is what I call it, as opposed to like ego strength or just like strength for strength's sake.
I like that. I like
Anybody
that,
who
though.
has like lats or traps that make it so they can't like, raise their elbow over their head is like, no, that's your body isn't meant to do that. You're doing human wrong.
We somehow humaned incorrectly.
Scott Steiner lied to me?
I'm sorry to
Your
say.
back can never be too big.
Apparently
God,
it can't.
I still go back to that fucking Scott Steiner workout tape video. It's one of my favorite bad movie night polls. Curls for the girls.
What?
He literally just starts like it's the dumbest fucking workout tape you'll ever find in your life if you can find a copy of it. It's just Scott Steiner lifting random shit and telling you which muscles he's hitting with it. Like, he literally has girls hanging onto a bar and he starts bicep curling them, like one on each side. It's just the most impractical fucking exercises. He lifts up a log like a tree trunk. It's like, oh yeah, my tree trunk. Good thing I know how to exercise like Scott Steiner. It's so dumb, and it's just full of Steinerisms.
Uncomfortably sexual at times.
Oh, yeah. And, like, the first thing we're gonna work on is your back. Your back can never be too big. You're gonna be walking through doors sideways when I'm done with you.
Block out the pain. Make your body
grow.
Classic Scott Steiner. Also, he wears glasses so much that seeing his eyes is terrifying.
I know.
Steiner jump scare.
I mean, I wouldn't want to find myself alone in an alley with him.
Alone with who?
Scott Steiner.
I don't.
Wrestler.
You just walk into a dark alley. You see this guy flexing underneath a street lamp.
I'd scream. I'd be like, somebody get the beat cop! There's some crusader who came back through a time portal and he's pissed!
Hold on a second, I'll close you with my biceps!
Why does he only have chainmail on his head?
He looks like he looks like a build for some Dark Souls character.
That's not conducive to proper...
character from Selfie, but I can only fat roll!
He's not protected at all! He's not protected at all!
I don't need to be protected when I got peaks on peaks!
The Scott Steiner Elden Ring run.
Oh
I can't wait to give Morgoth the Frankensteiner.
We should have gotten more frickin' moves, like more combat art to unarmed man. I would have loved to have thrown a dude into a Frankensteiner.
I learned how to take a Frankensteiner because I wanted to use that bit in a upcoming video. Spoiler for more Craven. There's like I wanted to use the shit I learned in wrestling school in like some stunt stuff. And it's
I'm gonna need to see that picture.
To use.
Google Scott Steiner. Every
Oh yeah,
picture
you'll
is...
find there's no way, like, if you just Google Scott Steiner, you'll find him. And then look up Scott Steiner math and just enjoy.
It's just like, he's just there.
Imagine what your dad wanted to look like in the early 2000s.
Every 80s movie, like, action villain. Speaking of 80s movie, Dolph Lundgren is cancer-free. Good on him.
Hey!
Yeah, I saw that.
Let's go, Dolph.
Yeah, let's go, Big Dolph.
Doctors gave him 2 years. He survived and beat cancer after 9.
He really was. If he dies, he dies. But he didn't.
Yeah.
He looked at his
If I live, I live.
he looked at his prognosis and he said, "I must break you."
I will break you. I am not man. I am made of iron. Let me go refill my drink quick.
I have the power of God and Mother Russia or something.
God and Rocky 4.
Yeah.
I have the power of God and Rocky 4.
He's only 63?
Damn, really?
Huh.
I never knew.
He's 62. This guy's younger than my dad.
Crazy.
I hope with my facial features I can look as wonky as Tilda Swinton does when I hit 60.
Me too.
All I know is that I like after I shave my head and whatnot, I take off my hat and I look just like this lawyer whose billboards are all around my state. His name is Tim Misney, and he is the most intimidating man I have ever seen.
Wait,
He
what
says
is
he's
it?
a lawyer, but he looks like Agent 47.
What's his name?
Tim Misney.
Tim Miz.
Yeah. With
I
an
just want to
S.
see the guy. Ha! Wow, his eyebrow game.
Yeah, his eyebrow game is astonishing.
I haven't seen eyebrows on anyone like that since like The Rock.
Oh my god, he does look like Agent 47.
He has a look of like, I know your browser history.
Yeah. And, like, I feel like he's like follow the law. The most intimidating one was the one where the one I saw inside the Speedway that said, "I'm Tim Misney. You know what I do," and I went, "I don't," and I'm scared. Like,
He looks like if like the To Catch a Predator guy decided to be a wrestler.
Oh my god. That's how it
And that
should have
would
gone
be-
down. That would be peak television.
he takes
Chris
these
Hansen
fucking-
went one-on-one in the ring with pedophiles.
That would be that would be so fucking good.
He looks like if you exclusively worked out your thumb.
His finisher's called Have a Seat.
God, when it's ladder chairs and whatnot day, oh God, you better run.
I'm back. I'm better than ever.
Yeah, we were talking about what if Chris Hansen was a wrestler.
That would have been great television.
Mr. Hogan, I need you to have a seat.
Give him a steel chair. That'll be fun.
What's this all about,
I
brother?
need you to have a seat. Hits him with the
I was
chair.
meeting this 15-year-old for cupcakes.
Just gonna meet him for a cup of coffee.
I'm doing another 360. Oh yeah! Man, I would have loved to have played Macho Man Randy Savage and Tony Hawk. That'd been great.
Whew, alrighty. I know our usual stop time is coming up in about like 15-ish minutes. How do we feel about going a little bit over tonight?
We started.
Just
How
a
much-
tiny bit. That'll be good.
I'm
How
fine.
much is a little?
Maybe like 45
3
more
hours.
minutes.
So,
Oh, I could swing 40.
Oh, like add 20.
yeah, 11:30 instead of.
Yeah, 11:30 instead
11.
of 11.
Because I won't lie, I'm probably gonna drop like the second we stop.
We can easily cut it.
Not if you want to keep going for a little while.
It's just to get things established.
Yeah, let's just say, like, instead of feeling like you need to be like, and it's cutoff time, go. You know, go until you feel like you have a natural stopping point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
that's
basically
cool.
just going to be the gist of it. All right, then. Let's get back into it in that case. Uh, Where the fuck? Here we go. This'll work. This'll work. As Louise and Apex both hit the streets of Westport after curfew, Louise, you are invisible.
I am the knight.
The one thing as you are walking along the streets that you may pick up, go ahead and roll a wits roll for me.
Okay. Boop. That's an 8.
Okay. While you are invisible right now, you do realize that it is not perfect. As you look down at your feet, you notice that for some reason you still cast a shadow.
Okay, yeah. I mean, this is like stealthing in Baldur's Gate 3. It's like it really works best if you're in total darkness.
Yes. And the suit obviously helps a lot, but
I will
becoming
endeavor
literally
to...
invisible is...
Yeah. I will endeavor to stick to the dark corners then as we go.
You cling to the shadows of the streets, and meanwhile, Apex, with liquor bottle in hand, you stumble down the streets of Westport.
Yeah, just keeping just kind of a calm gait. Looking about me. Trying to stay, like... I guess I should make a wits roll to see if I can even, like, figure out the shadow thing that you pointed out. Because I haven't been communicating with Louise, and I lost sight of her.
Sure, yeah, go ahead and roll me a wits roll.
9.
Well, you are the apex.
I am the apex, and I did know that you were in front of me, somewhere. But that stealth thing went on, and all I have to track you by is like a telltale shimmer, like a predator.
Out of the corner of your eye, you see you see a dark form on the ground sort of meld into the shadows of a nearby building. You're not sure what you saw, but you definitely saw it.
She's doing the worm at one point.
I'm just going to take that as a sign that I'm still relatively in the vicinity of Louise and just keep moving down past the garage pavilion, following her. Or what I assume to be her.
All right. I'm going to need a strange roll. From let's go for Louise.
All right.
The one with actual strange stats.
Hey.
Well, everybody has strange to some extent.
Yes, but I've merely adopted the strange. You were born with it.
I am stranger than most. Yes. All right.
Huh? It should be slash roll.
Yeah. Look, shut up. I know. Okay, just shut up.
Okay.
Shut up.
All right.
Just shut up, man. Mistakes happen. Ain't perfect.
All right.
11. Perfect. There we go.
Aliens.
You're walking along, and you're creeping from shadow to shadow, and you're realizing now that you must just be missing the patrols that you know are out here.
Huh.
You've seen
Okay.
guards patrolling the streets at night before.
Does the Apex find this eerie?
It is sort of oddly quiet.
I might pause in a shadow and sort of let Apex catch up with me, at least close enough that I can speak without being overheard. And just sort of like confer with him on that, be like, you notice there's no patrols too, right, Apex? You said you knew where I was!
I didn't know where you were. I just knew that I was following relatively where you were.
Yeah, doesn't know specifically where you were, but he knows you're in the vicinity.
I spill a bit of my whiskey with that. Just,
Oh, sorry. But
that stuff works real good. I say as
Oh,
I keep
yeah.
calmly walking.
I feel pretty fucking cool at the moment. I mean, yeah, there should be some guards or something by now, right?
Yeah, you can see Apex's eyes just kind of like darting between like the upper, like kind of like the second floor of. Where are we right now on this map?
From here... from the Pondside Hotel, where you exited from, you would probably be about... here at the moment.
Oh.
Yeah, especially considering we're around the Gold Tower. I noticed that the streets are like, first of all, we're past curfew, right?
It is it is well past curfew at
so
this
the streets
point.
are just empty.
At least
Yeah.
from what you're seeing.
Can I roll wits to?
Yeah,
I don't know. Are there any sounds or anything?
Yeah, my eyes would be shooting up towards like the balconies of buildings, the street corners, anywhere where there might be guards.
Yeah, well, he's looking high up. I'm just gonna like, I don't know, listen for something that sounds off.
Sure, go ahead and wits, both
Apex
of you.
got a 12.
12?
Right. And that's a 7 for me.
Alrighty. Louise, you sort of peer around a corner, and in front of the Gold Tower, sure enough, you do see a pair of, not the Westport guards with their sort of colored armor, but but members of the family, two of them specifically, in front of the doors to the Gold Tower.
Just a couple of their enforcers.
Okay, there's something. It's just two guys, that's it?
That's all you see. Apex, on the other hand, you're listening around. Now that you're focusing on it, you do hear, like, small conversations going on. One in, like, an alley behind you. But, it does seem odd. That there are not that many people walking the streets right now.
I make note of that and just kind of like keep my wits about me. Pun intended, I suppose. As we continue on our way. Obviously not crossing in front of the Golden Tower, but instead heading down to the Westport social alleyway.
Okay. You begin to head down that way.
Yeah, Louise no longer goes ahead of him. She kind of stays close because it's like, this is weird.
Does it continue to be that kind of like patrolless sort of vibe, like they're like this weird calm before the storm, so to speak?
It is sort of an eerie quiet. Occasionally you'll hear like the electronic buzzing of a light that may be about to go out. A gentle breeze blowing through the town. Over the corner of your shoulder, you'll spot an occasional guard.
And like I'm not doing a super hard job. Like I'm not like really attempting. Like I'm not apex stealthing. I'm just kind of like walking in shadows and trying not to be seen. But it doesn't seem like I'm being seen, or it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of things to be seen by. Very casual stealth.
Biz cash.
So, are we about to the pavilion garage in the barracks?
Yeah, you'd be circling around the back of the Plaza Hotel at this point. Sort of outside this large parking garage where you see there's a couple of lights inside the garage itself that are apparent now that it's dark.
What do you think, Apex?
I
Do
can
you want
go
to take
high.
the pavilion garage while I go around the barracks?
Can we see the holding cells and like what level their whatever windows they have are?
Yeah, as you round the corner, you see what looks to have been a sort of smaller, repurposed business building. And somewhat crudely, but not like... It doesn't look as rough as, like, most handmade signs. You see, sawn out of, you assume to be planks of wood, the letters Jail above the door, to the entrance to this building.
There's a part of me that was hoping they'd do the really old-timey spelly. Geol.
Jail.
Geol.
With an E at the end for some reason.
The Gowl.
I can check the... Which would you prefer? Do you want to check the area around the ground, the entrances and exits? Or would you like to try to peer in the windows from the garage? It seems like there might be people either way. A good way to test your stealth capabilities.
Well, my only concern is that the pavilion garage, is it like one of those multi-tiered sort of things, I assume?
Yes, it is a multi-tiered parking garage.
My only concern is I may be invisible, but you are definitely better at climbing. And if things go sour, you can get down and out faster than I could.
I'll take the garage then.
All right, I'll circle around.
I start making my way over to the garage, this time actively stealthing.
All right, go ahead and roll that wits roll.
Hiya! 11.
Woo!
It's actually pretty easy. There are a lot of thick shadows that you stick to. Lots of cars, now derelict, still in this pavilion garage.
I swipe my hand under one of the cars, some like grease on my hand, and just kind of give myself that Arnold Commando handprint across my face.
You swipe a bit of desiccated motor oil over your face to give you sort of a blacked out look, and you begin to creep further inward. And as you do, you see a small group of people.
Any of them familiar?
None of them look familiar to you. Uh, they're all sort of crowded around a small, what looks to be an oil lantern. And you can see one person is kind of handing things out to the other people, and they are giving this person caps in return.
Are they kind of in my path, like going up the garage to try to get a better look at the holding cells?
No, they're not in your path. There's like a small concrete stairway, and they're sort of just in the middle of this place.
I would keep my eye on them, but kind of stick to the shadows, hiding around the cars, kind of maintaining my stealth, not getting any closer to them necessarily, but just kind of like going around them while observing them. There's a mild curiosity as to what he's selling, but as long as they're distracted by it, their garb, are they family or are they typical security? Because they are out past curfew.
Make a wits roll.
Okie dokie. 9.
You're not certain who the singled out individual is. You're sort of seeing his back at the moment. However, the minuscule amount of light from the oil lamp illuminates the faces and collars of a bunch of slaves, sort of set up in a line. Out of the corner of your ear, you hear a...
So all of these slaves, who presumably would be the most inhibited by the, I guess, sort of... God, what would this be? It'd be like martial law that they crack down on this slave rebellion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they should be like the most affected by curfew. So my curiosity is a little more piqued, even though my mission is like getting a glance at the holding cells. So I kind of like keep my eye on the situation. Does it look like they're leaving anytime soon?
Make a... I guess this would be a smarts roll?
Makes sense to me. I'm timing out how long he's dealing with each customer. 8.
Yeah. Apex, there's a brief moment where it's like right out of the scene of one of your comics, where it's like a panel that's almost entirely blacked out, save for a few yellow lines of silhouette of what is quite clearly a drug deal going down. Most of the transactions are pretty rapid. You see a lot of scarves and a lot of high collar shirts meant to sort of cover up the bulky metal explosive collar that they wear.
My curiosity is piqued, and I kind of like wipe this grease over parts of my, like the exposed parts of my body, making myself look a little dirtier overall. And then I attach the deactivated bomb collar to my neck, and I start kind of making my way up to the crowd, kind of like scratching myself, looking like back and forth shadily, kind of like hastily but sneakily.
All right. Are you trying to blend into the crowd?
Yes, with the dirtified body and the bomb collar around my neck, I'm hoping I can get away with.
Okay. Go ahead and give me wits +1.
Wits +1?
Yes.
Okay. How on earth?
Aww.
Wow! Still a 6. The improbability.
Well, I guess life wouldn't be as exciting.
I guess I don't look like any of his regulars. Like, the only thing I can think of that would make me stand out like a sore thumb, or this guy somehow recognizes me in general.
Just roll
Take
20
like-
things.
Just take one more point in that stat, and then Connor asks you
That's
for
a
it, and be
one-
like,
that's a
"Fuck you!
one-
I can always get it."
That's a 1 in 36.
Something becomes pretty apparent when you sidle up next to the last person in line. Most of these individuals are relatively lithe. Some of them are gaunt.
And I'm jacked. Gotcha.
Yeah, clearly the submissive and desperate type are a majority of the people in the crowd. And then there's you, this squat, hairy, jacked dude.
It's a new hobby! I just got into it.
It's not his fault. He works for his gains.
Alright, so
And-
everybody takes notice of me.
Jazz music stops.
The man who is passing out these chems, now that you're sort of seeing him from the front, his illuminated features, you see now that this is quite clearly a member of the family.
Well, this is gonna get dirty real quick.
And he sort of like he sort of looks up to beckon another slave over to him, as he's got this sort of like he literally has like a bunch of pockets in his trench coat that he opens up, all labeled. And he beckons the next person over, and then he looks over to the end of the line to see how many more people are going to be here. And he tilts his head and looks you and locks eyes with you, Apex. And he goes, "Wait a minute. Louise."
Yes.
Around
Hold
this
a
time,
second.
you'd be making your way to the holding cells.
Yeah, I mean, since she has no clue what's going on, she assumes that Apex is basically going to be scoping, these. If I can.
Apex is gonna Apex.
Yeah. Sorry, my using it on this laptop is so slow, but
Mm.
that front area, so she's going to hug the walls and go around the back that's like next to that road to see if there's windows or something that Apex wouldn't be able to scope from that side.
From the parking garage?
And the ones-
Or trying to look at windows in the holding cells.
I want to go around the back of the building. He wouldn't be able the side he wouldn't be able to see from the garage.
Okay, so around here then. Around this side
yeah.
of the building? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like hug the wall and go around that side.
You hug the wall. Trying to look into these windows is a bit of a difficult task, as the windows themselves appear to be sort of double-sided. They are almost a mirror sheen, but you can barely see anything on the inside. You do see a few lights, however, through some occasional, like, broken windows or just a place where the seam is not perfect. You do see that there are some lights on. Dim, but they are on.
Okay, can I see inside at anything?
Go ahead and make a wits roll -2. It's a little hard to get an angle to look into this building, especially due to the now, like, bulkier nature of the suit that you're wearing. You can't press your face up against the crack to really get a look in. It's like trying to look through a peephole at a door from a few inches away.
Alright, well, that's a straight roll for me, so we'll see. That's a 9.
You see, sort of repurposed office cubicles, that have been sort of retrofitted to be entirely blocked off from each other. You see, people wearing slave collars. You see, actually occasional members of the family. Quite a few members of, Liberatio, the, sort of sub-faction of the family that is working to free the slaves rather than to put them back into slavery.
Huh.
However, you don't see your primary targets yet.
Alright, keep going.
As you walk along on the outside of the building, you see much of the same thing. You try to look into the windows, and you just see a bunch of empty cells. Obviously, they're probably not going to be arresting too many people, but you make your way along. You see some blocks that are completely bare, and you see some that have a few people. And you've scattered around the entire right side of this building, to the east, and you do not see Big O.
I guess given that the windows are this hard to look into when I'm right in front of them, I am gonna go ahead and just scope the whole building out. Because I feel like Louise now would think that, well, I don't know if Apex can even see from the garage considering, so I may as well do it real quick.
Yeah, you loop around the building. There's sort of another entrance in the back here that is guarded by some of the Westport guards.
Okay, make a note of that. How many guards does she see?
It's just 2 near the holding cells.
Okay,
However, it seems like the barracks are bustling with activity right now.
Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish out scoping out the holding cells first before I make any more decisions. Just to cover my bases.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
I'm gonna finish scoping out the holding cells first before I make any new decisions, just to cover my bases.
Sure. Yeah, it's you get a lot of the same thing as you go to the other side. You get the sense that maybe in order to find some of these higher priority targets, you would need to go inside. But you do get that much from the outside.
All right. So I'm assuming Apex is probably in the middle of the garage instead of on the edges, so I won't be able to see him. I'll get a little closer to the barracks. I kind of want to scope out if I can see what the hubbub is. Maybe hear some conversation at least.
Sure. Do you go to the front entrance or do you stick to the side?
Let's for now do the entrance closest to me.
All right. Closest to you. There's no real back entrance to this place. It seems like there's just the one exit. Actually, I guess there would be a fire exit. You creep along the side of this building and you lean in and you see that the lights are on. You see a large group of these Westport guards in sort of their beige combat armor. A lot of them seem to be discussing something. Go ahead and make a wits roll.
All right. Yeah. That's a 12.
You lean in and looking through one of the windows. The barracks is a much sturdier looking building than the holding cells. It's largely concrete with only a few bits of glass for windows. However, there is just enough for you to look in and see that there is sort of a congregation of these Westport guards. And
I would assume that this is the reason why we don't see anyone outside.
that's up to you to deduce.
Okay, fair.
But as you're leaning in, you see them all sort of grouped around a central figure. And you recognize them. As you lean in, you see Delilah, the former mayor of Westport, speaking to this crowd of guards.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you can't hear what they're saying, but you do see her sort of preaching to the choir here.
And I'd have to go inside to get closer, wouldn't I?
Yeah, to get a better indication of what's going on, you would need to go into the building.
I think and there's people at the doors though. The entrances I could take, right?
Yeah, you do see that there are guards posted outside of the barracks directly in front.
Like even invisible, I don't think I could just mosey on past them.
Yeah, the door doesn't look like a simple breeze would blow it open.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go and wait for Apex for now, because it's like, yeah, I don't think there's a good way to go in there without screwing myself over.
Speaking of
Apex,
speaking of screwing themselves over,
there's a moment where time seems to stop. You realize that you've been found out. And you see this group of desperate individuals all turn in unison when they see the man of the hour locking eyes with you. Some of them sort of stumble back, not having seen you get into the line. This foreign person with a dangerous-looking build.
the reaction the family member had, he said something before
He said, "Wait a minute."
I look away from him like a dog that's about to get hit while waiting for his next reaction, because at this point I'm in it.
Give me a charm roll -1.
Alrighty. Ah, 6.
Aw.
You see a flash of recognition in his glance. Recognition and surprise. He drops the flap of his coat that had the what you suppose to be chems inside of it. And his other hand reaches and swivels around. And
I
he
immediately throw the bottle of whiskey in my hand directly at his face, the heaviest side down.
Okay.
The bottle of whiskey.
Go ahead and... I mean, I guess this would hurt him if it hit him. It's a bottle of whiskey.
It is like, as I see him kind of like trying to pull a weapon on me.
Yes, he is quite clearly reaching for a pistol now.
I am throwing this bottle, like attempting to essentially hit him with the bluntest part of this bottle at the bridge of his nose to, at the very least, stun him, potentially knock him out.
I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because you have a +3 in either of them. But
Yeah.
I think this would be a wits roll in this case.
Alright,
If you're just trying to stun him.
I'm not. No, I'm trying to lay him the fuck out. Like, I'm
Okay.
throwing this bottle with an intent to end this
With intent to
situation
harm.
quickly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that would be a-
14! I immediately drop this, like, I look down like a hit dog, I see him, like, pull a gun, throw, BAM! Bottle right at the bridge of his nose, square between the eyes.
As you expertly sort of grab the bottle of whiskey by the neck and huck it towards his face, it arcs perfectly through the air. And rather than these sort of, like, cinematic glass breaking, whiskey splashing everywhere, you hear a thunk as the corner of the glass hits him in the bridge of the nose, and he immediately, just a jet of blood comes out of his nose, and he goes, "Oh, fuck!"
And I'm immediately rushing over to tackle him down. I
Nailed him like Vash the Stampede in that first episode of
Yeah.
Trigun.
I pull
Oh,
a
God, I
flip
remember
lighter
that.
from my bag. Wherever the whiskey poured, I'm imagining some of it came out of the bottle and like poured down the front of his shirt.
Notably, the bottle did not break until it hit the ground. It thunked into his head and then splashed at his feet.
All right, fair enough. Then I'm just like rushing over to like tackle him and make sure he's disarmed and on the ground.
Yeah, his nose is bleeding profusely, both from the now gash in the corner of it where the bottle actually hit him, and just blood coming out of his nostrils due to the trauma. He's got tears rolling down his eyes. He's clearly dazed. You run up and go ahead and make a body roll, +1.
Ooh. Just don't give me 2 1s again, you motherfucker. There we go, a 12.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
I pin him to the ground, forearm to the throat. knee on the gun. The gun, the other knee planted square on his chest, and I'm just like looking him square in the eyes.
That recognition in his eyes becomes all the more apparent once you are upon him. And he has now quite clearly clocked who you are.
I just tell him, remain calm.
Like I wasn't sure before, but then he clocked me with a bottle.
He says nothing. He sputters, and more blood just sort of pours down into his lip, and he begins to, like, try and keep it out of his mouth.
Blink once if you will remain calm.
He looks at you first, Apex, and then looks around to the crowd behind you.
I look at the crowd, glaring. I will reach.
Yeah.
With
no. Before you do anything.
Okay.
The huddled masses in this sort of cramped parking garage, they all sort of unanimously take a step back and allow you to do whatever it is you're going to do.
I nod and return my attention to him. Will you remain calm?
He blinks once.
Loosen the grip on your weapon.
He very slowly pulls his hand away from his hip and raises it above his head.
I reach down to his hip, unholster his weapon. What was it?
It is just a revolver. It's just your typical 9mm revolver.
And I just kind of slide it across the floor, away from the surrounding crowd, but most importantly, away from him.
Or I guess it'd be a 44.
Yeah, either way. It is slid away. I slowly start to kind of like lean back. Like I don't take my arm off of his throat yet. Lucrative business, I take it.
He blinks once.
I let my arm off of his throat and slowly stand up off of him.
He rolls over to his side and he clutches his throat, trying to catch his breath.
I throw him a rag for his bleeding nose.
He looks at it puzzled, but he grabs it and sort of holds it up to his nose. You can see the blood slowly starting to spread.
You catch me at a bit of an impasse. You could be a problem for me, but there's a big problem coming for everyone.
Problem?
The big green kind.
Muties?
Lots of them.
Oh, shit.
Now there's a lot that needs to be done around here. Were you at the arena the day the big one got out?
He shakes his head. No, I'm kind of new.
But you know who I am.
I've heard descriptions. I've heard the things you've done.
Then you know right now that you're very lucky.
Yeah, I guess. If you can call it luck. So it... And he, like, pinches one side of his nose and just a huge gout of blood onto the floor. What happens now?
I'm going to ask you some questions. and then
Okay.
we'll find out.
All right.
How do you feel about the one they call Big O?
That's that guy that showed up. Showed up to town. Started causing a ruckus, and the new mayor managed to pretty easily subdue him. I mean, I don't know, he's a criminal, right? He tried to cause an uproar in the middle of town, and now he's locked up.
From what I understand, it seemed like he was trying to help these people in a way that you can't. And I look back at the huddling masses and I walk up to him and I hold open his coat and I look at all of his chems.
Yeah,
Without all of this.
You see it now. It's basically every chem that you could think of.
I kind of start yanking the trench coat off of him forcefully.
He doesn't resist.
These poor people, whose only reprieve in life comes at the end of these canisters. I pull the collar off of my neck. They tried to put one of these on me. Have you ever worn one?
No. Make a smarts roll.
8.
That strikes you as odd. Because from what you gathered from Don Slick, when he was talking with you, he made it seem like fully fledged members of the family, the made men, they were all former slaves.
How odd. You must be very new.
Yeah.
The old guard seem to take pride in bringing those that were once slaves into their ranks.
Who the fuck was that?
The wandering rat, I don't know.
No,
When did you join?
Shortly after Deuce took office.
Did you know him beforehand?
No. I had no idea.
Where do you come from?
I'm from Clayton.
I try to remember. Clayton. We've been there, right?
You have. It is it's a sort of a housing sector. Lots of apartments and houses. It seems that just a big group of people have decided to make a very loose community there. Notably, that is where that's where you met Phil's mother.
That's right. Fine group of people there. You decided to come out and find your fortune among the family.
This is what the old world looked like, right? This is civilization. No more roughing it out on the streets. Worried if the next day's gonna be your last.
As he's saying no more roughing it out on the streets, I walk up and I just kind of grab him by the collar and point towards the slaves. Yes, you don't have to rough it because they do in your stead. They bear what you do not. And I just kind of like let go and push him back at the same time.
He stumbles backwards. He's still clearly a little stunned.
And you have the tenacity to take what little they have for this. And I just kind of like hold up one of the chems. And I toss it over to the needy enslaved.
The instant it hits the floor, you see several people scramble over towards it.
I grab the guy again. Look at them, scrambling for any bit of comfort that they can find.
Wasn't my idea, all right.
And yet this is the civilization you would prop up. You are part of the problem. The mayor is part of the problem.
Okay. I see that now. Just don't kill me, okay?
I look at his suit, probably covered in blood by now.
Yeah, he's got like what was once a nice, clean white dress
Family
shirt
suit,
underneath.
yeah.
Now spattered with several flecks of nose blood.
I dump the remaining chems out of his trench coat, just kind of like start throwing them in my bag. How many do I get? First of all, like what drugs did this man have?
Let me go ahead and see what he had left in his stock.
Breaking Apex.
You see he has 4 doses of Radaway,
Cool.
3 doses of Buff Out,
Cool.
a stim pack, 4 doses of Jet,
Damn.
4 doses of Med-X, two doses of Rocket,
Ain't even heard of that one.
two doses of Slasher,
Dear Lord. I'm a fucking pharmacy.
5 doses of Psycho,
Fuck! I hear its siren call to me as I pull those out.
Just smacks you on the head proverbially. No! Stop it.
None of that, Apex.
and 4 doses of Mentats.
The fresh maker. As I put that stuff away, I look at him, I look at the trench coat, and I look back to him. I'm going to offer you a trade. You give me your suit and your clothing, and I will give this back to... Oh, wait, how many caps are in this? Because he was selling.
He was selling it. Let's go ahead and see.
Probably not for a lot, because literal slaves, but...
I mean, you have heard that the slaves in Westport do get paid.
True.
Let's see how much money he's got.
I found the goddamn candy man.
Mm. Da, 60. Da. You find 157 caps on him.
Hot diggity damn. Okay. I'm back in it. Maybe I'll go buy another pig.
And this one, Kanga.
I tell him, like, I'll trade you this for your clothing, and you can keep your life.
Sort of a quizzical look goes over his head, but he just shakes his head and begins to unbutton his dress shirt. He's got like a tank top on underneath. He begins to shrug out of his shirt, toss it to the ground, unbuckles his belt, takes off his pants.
After he does that, I toss him the trench coat, and I start like replacing my pants with his, and I put the coat on over my white shirt, my like kind of like just normal white t-shirt, something to help me blend in outside.
It's a bit of a tight fit.
Yeah, but fat guy in a little coat, etc. I'll have it let out later. Go back to Clayton. Go back to your family. Because when the green wave comes, they'll need you there. And you don't want to be around for what's coming. And if you warn anyone here about where I am, I will. I kind of like take two fingers. I swipe at. I kind of like take my hand and I pick up his bloodied shirt and I smell it. I will find you.
He takes one tentative step backwards and then runs in a dead sprint. Not naked. He's wearing like underclothes, like briefs and tank top. But he does look quite silly wearing only that and his shoes.
And a trench coat, yeah.
And a trench coat as he takes off into the distance.
I look to the starving masses.
There's something odd when you look over them. It's what you would imagine the expression of a lab rat to be. This docile and yet somehow hungry gaze when they look at you.
Is this how all of you want to live?
No. Eventually, one person speaks up. An old
walk-
man,
I-
sort of wearing a loose-fitting busboy attire.
I walk up to the old man.
But what else can we do?
I take my fingers that are still, like, glistening with that dude's blood. And I put an arc over each of his eyes, kind of similar to how my mask is designed.
Okay. You begin to sort of paint the markings of the apex on this man's face.
You can choose to live free of the yoke that they have placed upon your neck, and free of the yoke that you have placed around your own body. I look at the veritable candy store that I picked up off of this dude. I look at this guy. Let's see. Jet is kind of like meth. Psycho does not seem this guy's vibe. Maybe Mentats or Med-X. The future can be what you make of it. And I hold out a serving of Med-X. But it starts with a choice to let go. And I hold it out towards him. Only you can make the choice.
Make a charm roll. +1.
+1, that'd be an 8. So I rolled it as normal, then add +1.
He initially holds his hand out as if to take the Med-X, and then he pulls his hand away.
I smile.
I don't know how some of us can go on. We've been at the thumb of the family for a long time. Some of us longer than you've been alive. But I've heard of you. You're the apex.
For the first time being called that without my mask on.
I don't have to see a mask to see it. The way you move, the way you've been described, the way you talk to that man. It all made sense.
I put it in my pocket, or I put the Med-X back in my pocket. To be the apex is simply to live free. I live my way. Because if someone puts a thumb on me, I don't sit underneath it. The apex breaks the thumb.
Another voice from the back.
Then you can help us.
Only if you can help me.
This sort of feminine voice from the back of the crowd is attached to sort of a lithe woman wearing probably what could be described as a waitress's uniform. She comes out from the crowd and approaches, and as the flickering oil lantern illuminates her face. You see these tattoos, sort of like pock marks or dimples that line her cheeks. Please, help us. And that is where we're going to end the session for the evening.
Hey!
Woo.
We will certainly try.
I accidentally Messiah'd again.
Lois, I did it again.
All right,
Whoops.
meet back up with Louise. I couldn't find where Big O was hiding. What happened to you? I broke a drug dealer, and now I'm the Messiah of the slaves.
Hooray! Funny, happy
That's
show!
our what the
Monty,
fuck?
save his skull, Jesus!
I don't know. I think I'm Spartacus now.
Up in the garage, pavilion garage, you just hear people chanting, Apex, Apex. Like,
I
what
just-
the fuck?
I just imagine you walking back towards the entrance of the garage. The dude in his underpants and a trench coat comes running out, blood streaming down the front of his face. You
Well,
kinda
yeah, but
inst-
Louise would clock that and just be like, yeah, it makes sense.
Exactly. It's like, ah, man.
She'd probably stop and be like, wait, did you meet? What'd you do? Yeah, never mind. Go, run.
Well,
All right.
another eventful session. Thank you, Connor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where's my... There it is.
Ah, there's the music.
Zen Leader's got it. He's Final Fantasy 14 naked.
Sorry, I was responding to a message.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I was telling people in the call earlier that I kicked a couch last night while I was dancing my way to the bathroom, and I thought I broke my toe. I don't think it's broken, but it hurts like a mother. And it happened last night during raid group.
This is like just imagining they were like, so the toe's still broken? Still broken, yeah.
Monty just messaged me, how's your toe? I said, oh, it's probably not broken, but it hurts like a mother. But thank you all so much for stopping by and watching another fantastic episode of Gateway.
Woo!
I know it was a little bit of a shorter one, but yeah. A lot of things happened this episode that I was not expecting, but we'll have to see the consequences of that in about 2 weeks. 14th.
The 14th.
Yes.
The 14th!
Barring any unforeseen circumstances. But thank you all so much for watching. Players, thank you so much for playing. And let's go around the horn and de-introduce ourselves. So, starting with Lanny Bator.
Well, hello there. I'm Lanny. You can find me all over the internet. And it's been a crazy week with releases for me this week. You can finally see episode 11 of Home for Infinite Losers, in which Connor returns as Cooler and is a wonderful contribution. So check that out if you want to see more of the continuing misadventures of Cell, Raditz, and the dealings of King Cold in the Home for Infinite Losers. But also, if you're as excited for the Sony hit Kraven the Hunter as I am, then check out the Kraven the Hunter parody that we dropped today on Team 4 Star. It's going to be a 3-part miniseries, so you can expect 2 more of this weird thing I got in my head to just make and have had so much fun making. I got to work with a bunch of my wrestler buddies. I got to do some like stunt work. Please check it out. It's been a lot of fun, and it's only going to get more fun. Hope you enjoy it. I'm going to get back to streaming here soon, probably within the week. I finally got my studio here all sound treated. So, yeah, it's gonna be a very exciting holiday season. Feel free to join me. It'd be great to hang out with some of y'all again. I got a hell of a gaming backlog to get through. Let's do it. That's me. Thank you kindly.
Excellent. Up next, we've got... Hey, Mr. Rabbit.
Come on, everybody. My name is Rabbit. I'm a writer and voice actor. You can find me on Twitch and Blue Sky. Hey, Mr. Rabbit. I stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I stream horror games. I stream RPGs. I stream RuneScape. League's 5's out. It's the latest sensation sweeping the nation. Also got done, finished one of my writing projects. I'm just putting the final polish on it, and we're going to see how that pans out for us. So I'm super excited about that. Great things are up on the horizon for us all, ladies and gentlemen. That being said, once again, you can find me at twitch.tv/Hey Mr. Rabbit. That's me.
Excellent, excellent. Up next, we got Sarah. Where can they find you? What are you up to?
I'm on Blue Sky and YouTube at Sarah with an H and with an E Willia. Yeah, I mean, just gonna finish out the rest of this year. Thursday, it's me and Rabbit again, doing the horror
Back
stuff.
at it again.
Whoop.
Alan Wake.
And next Saturday, we're back to Baldur's Gate 3, and I'm gonna I gotta try on all the outfits I stole from Cazador's Palace, but I don't think they're gonna beat the one I got on. I wasn't kidding where it's just like, I'm stealing all this fucker shit. That painting's mine. Those clothes are mine. The goblet's mine. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy.
It stopped the stream. That became all we focused on for like 5 minutes.
I just didn't think anything was going to beat the leather outfit, but it's just like, oh my god!
Yeah.
Maybe I should get fan art made of that.
Sometimes you see a button, it's just like, damn.
God. Damn.
So that's me.
Is this
Goddamn.
Is this what the kids say, gat?
Is this the power of the Riz?
Is this gat? It's that guy motioning to the butterfly. Is this a pigeon?
Is this cat?
It's just the meme of it's just the meme of Kiss with her ass to the camera and all the other male characters doing that thing where they're all like, oh, falling towards the camera. Anyway.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, and up next we got Xanalis Grimm.
Hey, it's me, Zan. You can catch me over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ZanosGrim at 7 p.m. PST, where we're going to continue the D&D game I run with a few friends of the channel. That will be, like I said, there if you want it. If you like some fun space adventures with D&D, that's there for you. Tuesday, over at twitch.tv/DistortionDevil, I think around 2:30 PST, we're going to continue with now our second session of Vecna Eve of Ruin. So if you really like kind of that more spooky mystery vibe, that's there for you as well. Lots of friends of the channel / Unexpectables crew there. After that, back on my Twitch channel, Tuesday around I think 5:30 or 6 p.m. PST, we're going to continue our Halo Lasso playthrough of Infinite. And yeah, if you like just hear myself and Bosco shout at each other while we lament what's going on, that's there for you. Wednesday, speaking of Bosco, we're going to be back here at around, I think, 6:30 or 6 p.m. PST, I think it is, for more of the two-shot that he's running. So if you enjoyed that last Wednesday, we're going to keep going with it. And Thursday, over at twitch.tv/MontyGlue at 7 p.m. PST, you can continue to watch us go very deep into the Dungeon of the Mad Mage. We are really far into that module. So if that piques your interest, that'll be there. And that's me.
Alrighty. And I suppose that just leaves me. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Tumblr, Blue Sky, at Distortion Devil, Instagram at Connor McKinley VA. And you can find all of my TTRPG content for the future over at youtube.com/Devils and Dice Rolls. Where, yes, the live broadcast will be on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/DistortionDevil, but the VODs will be going up on youtube.com/Devils and Dice Rolls, where we already have our first episode and our first short available, courtesy of one of our players, the amazing Theropod Art.
Dart.
Theropod Art. Indeed, indeed, indeed. But with that being said, I think that's going to be it for me. This episode of Gateway was brought to you in part by Die Hard Dice.
Dice!
Die Hard Dice!
Die Hard Dice, ladies and gentlemen!
Die Hard Dice is your one-stop shop for dice and dice accessories. And if you head on over to dieharddice.com, you can use the code Unexpectables. Save 10% on your order. Get those holiday orders in now. Depending on how much you spend, you may get an extra gift with your goodie bag. As well, check
I jump out of the bag and I start dancing.
to this music.
Flossing.
Yeah! I do it for 3 minutes, then I look down, and then I quietly just leave your house.
Take a banana.
If there's anything on the counter, I am just taking it out of the fruit basket when I'm just walking out. I need an apple for the road.
Yeah. Check out our merch store. We just uploaded a Gateway theme design, the Runaways comic cover depicting one of the more pivotal moments of the battle at the arena,
Buy our book.
which
Buy
in
our
lore
book.
is described by historians as the Battle of Broken Chains.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm a history book.
Yes, and that is available now at our spring store, which I'm trying to get a better URL for.
One day.
We also couldn't do this week in, week out without bits and subs from viewers like you.
It's a time.
Bits and subs from people such as
Bits and subs.
Bits and subs.
Little bits.
Little bit. That is kind of what that is, huh?
Yeah.
Mr. Insecure, thank you for the 500 bits. Too bad Watchmen isn't a thing in the Gateway universe, because this would have been a perfect session to quote Rorschach.
He is one of the inspirations for the Apex and his mannerisms.
This member of the family will look up and whisper, "Help me." And I'll say, no. And then I'll kill him.
And then I'll say, lol.
Lol. Lamau.
Lol. Lamau.
Ruffle even.
Solar Misfit, thank you for the 45 bits. I've always enjoyed watching Gateway with our illustrious host, Broken Toe Connor. That's right.
Connor of the Broken Toe.
A wise man once said, that shit hurted. And that's going to do us for this week. We got to find somebody to read.
Do we ever?
Do we ever? Do we ever? You know, let's go ahead and raid my very good friend, Mike Feedback.
Mike Feedback is friends
What
with
are they
Distortion Devil? No fucking way.
That's so
There's
fucking.
a joke
So...
that I don't
You
get.
know, I just realized that. That was very much unintentional, but basically my inspiration for... What? Huh?
Oh,
Huh?
Oh, feedback. What the fuck? I'm an idiot. My brain has just been in a fog today. I don't know what the fuck. I think I'm starting to get
Well,
sick.
you broke your foot.
you got all them endorphins.
Yeah. I think I'm starting to get sick too. So that's not good.
Aw, don't do that.
But let's go ahead and read my friend Mike. Raid message will be
Break the chains.
break the chains.
That's a good one.
All right, folks. Take care. we will see you back here for more Gateway in about 2 weeks. Next week, we got more Baldur's Gate. And then, of course, Wednesday, we've got the exciting conclusion to Bosco's 2-Shot.
Yeah.
I believe after that, we'll be right back to our regularly scheduled programming. But, for now, we'll see you all next time on Gateway.
Gateway.
Bye-bye!
Adios. Vaya con Dios.